All right, everybody, 5:45. Welcome to the weekly Scamaware 101 live stream. I'm Jared. I'll be your host for the evening, and we'll be discussing some recent scams, what scams are trending, how to protect yourself from scams, what scams to watch out for. We got a lot of good stuff coming up. Examples of scams, red flags to identify if you're talking to a scammer. Lots of good tips and useful information come up to help you avoid scams. Our goal here at Scamware 101 is to spread awareness about these scams so you can protect yourself and your loved ones from becoming a victim. And we believe a little extra awareness of these scams makes all the difference. So we do this weekly live stream once a week, sometimes more, but at least once a week, every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. And tonight we're live streaming for the first time on Instagram, so we'll see how that goes. And of course, we're streaming on our usual YouTube platform as well. We switched around the agenda a little bit for this week. This week we're just going to dive right into the scams and the examples. Whereas usually we kick off this live stream with going over the headlines. We're going to try something a little different this week and go right into the examples. We'll do that in a couple minutes. We're going to kick this off at 5:50. So we'll kick this off in about 4 more minutes. In the meantime, hit that thumbs up. Say hi in the chat. If it's your first time watching, let me know in the chat room. I am monitoring the YouTube chat. I'm not really watching the Instagram chat. Hit that thumbs up. Hit the heart. Show some love. Let's see if we get some more people into the live stream here. Again, we'll get started in about 3 minutes. We'll get started at 5:50. And again, we're going to dive right into some great scam examples, give you an idea of what scams are going around, which are trending, which ones to watch out for. To also join our free mailing list on scamware101.com. You click join email list. You'll get reminders about these live streams and also useful scam awareness tips. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, definitely subscribe. We release scam awareness videos and keep our viewers and subscribers up to date with scams to watch out for. We get started in about 2 minutes or so here. Again, say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Let me know if it's your first time here, how you found us. And again, our goal is just to spread awareness about scams. We do this live stream every week. Every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. We stream on YouTube. And tonight we're streaming for the first time on Instagram as well. So we'll see how that goes. Get started in about 2 minutes. We're going to go over some scam examples. We're going to jump right in. Again, say hi in the chat. Click that thumbs up. Give us a like. See if we can spread awareness, get some more people into the chat. Our goal here is to spread awareness about these scams, and you could help by just clicking like, clicking subscribe. It helps the YouTube algorithm. It likes our content and starts showing it to more potential viewers. So you can help spread awareness by clicking like and subscribing. Get started in 2 minutes here. Sam Tam, welcome to the chat. Thank you for saying hi. We'll get started here 1 more minute. We'll go over some scam examples, keep you safe from all the scammers around here lately. Show you some common scams that are circulating now, what to watch out for. Keep yourself and your loved ones safe. Say in the chat, click that thumbs up, give us a like, subscribe. So we spread awareness about these scams. Just trying to put something good out there, you know. Just starting about 1 more minute here. We got 2 live streams going on YouTube as well. We got a vertical one going and a regular widescreen version going. So everybody's in a vertical one, which is cool. But ends up being 2 different chats, but you got 2 options at least. We'll get started in a minute here. It's first on Instagram as well. I don't see anybody on the Instagram feed live stream yet, so that's okay. YouTube's where all our viewers are at. All right, it's 5:50. Cool. We're going to get this started. Welcome to our weekly Scamware 101 live stream. Our topic here is scam awareness. And what we do is we go through the common scams. We show you examples of scam emails, text message scams, play you some recordings of phone call scams, and we even show you some examples of some snail mail scams that are out there, because the scammers are still sending out those regular letters trying to scam people too. We'll go over some red flags to help you recognize when you're talking to a scammer, especially online. And we'll show you some online tools and software that we have available on our website. All third-party tools, not any of our software. And a bunch of educational resources as well on our website. But again, we do this live stream every week. Our goal is simply to spread awareness. And you can help by clicking that thumbs up, saying hi in the chat, subscribing to the YouTube channel. The engagement helps YouTube show our content more, and it'll help our content spread and hopefully help people avoid becoming victims of these scams, because these scams are a real problem these days. You can't go anywhere without being scammed. You pretty much can't use the internet without getting targeted with a scam. Well, you use email, you're getting scam emails all day long. Phishing emails, scam emails, whatever you want to call them. All right, you have a phone number, you're getting phone calls, scam phone calls all day long. And we read all these horror stories about people losing their life savings. Like, these scammers aren't just taking $100 from you. People are losing their life savings from these scammers. Once they get on to people's PCs or into their bank accounts, they take everything. They don't just stop with phone transfer. They take as much as they can. So it's important to be aware of these scams and indicators that you're dealing with scammers. Because the truth is, and sadly, people that fall for these scams lose money. A lot of them never recover the money. So you save yourself a big headache by being aware. And you can also watch out for your family or your loved ones, and kind of identify when they're dealing with a scammer, you know. So that's our goal here at Scamware 101. Spread awareness, help you identify scams so you can protect yourself, protect your loved ones. And that's it. So hit that thumbs up. We're going to jump into some scam examples right now. Don't be afraid to say hi in the chat. Tell us if you've ever run into any of these scams that we're about ready to talk about. Tell us the red flags that you're running into and which scams you're being targeted with. Tell us what scams you fell for, or what scams your friends have fallen for. You know, we need to share these experiences to help spread the word as well, you know. So engagement is appreciated. Don't be shy. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee in my Scamware 101 coffee travel mug, which is available on our YouTube store, so check that out. You can also visit our website, scamware101.com, and join our free email list. And now, without further ado, let's get started on some scams and show you some scam examples that you should be aware of so you can protect yourself and protect your loved ones. So we're going to start with a tech support scam. So these tech support scams, how they work is the scammer impersonates a tech support representative, and they claim they're going to help you remove a virus from your PC, but it's actually a scammer. And how the victims get in touch with these scammers is they'll actually get a fake virus pop-up on their PC. And the thing about this type of tech support scam is everybody's vulnerable to it. If you're on a Windows PC, if you're on an Apple device, Mac, it doesn't make a difference. Even on your Android PC, these fake virus pop-ups that lead to tech support scams, they pop up on all devices. So it's extra important to be aware of this type of scam. And what happens is these fake virus alerts pop up, and they're big and scary. And I'm going to show you a bunch of examples of these fake virus alerts. But these fake virus alerts pop up, and they look all big, scary, red letters, exclamation points. You're infected with the virus. You're infected with the virus. Call this number for support. And that's where the scammer hooks the victim. It tricks the victim into calling that number. And when the victim calls that number, they're actually talking to a scammer. They think they're talking to tech support, which is why it's called a tech support scam. But in reality, they're actually talking to a scammer. So anybody could fall for this type of scam. Like I said, it targets all devices. I'm going to show you some examples of these pop-ups. But a lot of older folks fall for this scam. Maybe they're not as computer savvy. But whatever the case, there's horror stories about these older folks who fall for this scam. And these tech support scammers take their entire retirement savings. It takes everything they've got. And it's a nightmare for some of these people falling for this scam. So let's take a look at some examples to help you identify this scam and help your loved ones identify this scam. We'll start with some generic examples, right, which look kind of obvious that they're scams, but then we'll show you some more examples that are more realistic and convincing. So here's the first example of a generic tech support scam. It's a fake virus alert. And this gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. It's got the big red letters, warning, 5 viruses detected. Right, then a list of scary things, right? System crashing, file deletion, theft of personal data, Wi-Fi loss, infections on your other devices. Right? So you're just sitting there browsing the internet, and then suddenly you get this pop-up, but it says, call us immediately at this number. And that's where the scam kicks in. If you call that number, you'll be connected to a scammer. Here's another example of a fake pop-up. Again, we're just looking at the generic ones now, but I'll show you some convincing ones in a minute. Now, warning, check your computer now. Data exposed to risk, your credit card details and banking information, email and passwords, your Facebook, your private photos. And it says, call this number immediately. Right? They're trying to scare the victim into calling this number. If the victim falls for it, they're connected to a scammer. And there's actually call centers full of scammers waiting to receive these calls. Like, this is big business. Here's another example of a fake virus pop-up that's part of a tech support scam. Warning, your computer may be infected. To remove viruses, call tech support now. But if you call that number, you get connected to a scammer. Right? And you can notice on this one, you can see the address at the top. So, I mean, if you're computer savvy, you can figure it out. You know, it's a lot of people. You might consider this obvious. But to folks that aren't computer savvy, you know, they just see big red letters, warning, it's scary. It doesn't even cross their mind, wait a minute, is this a scam? They get scared, and they call this number. And once they call the number, they got them. And what happens is the scammer is going to try to connect to the victim's computer. They're going to say, sure, let me help you remove the virus. And that's their excuse to try to connect to the computer. You should never let a scammer on your computer, and we'll talk about that more later as well. But those are just some generic examples of a tech support scam, you know, fake alert, fake virus alert. But let me show you some more convincing ones. Maybe you'll start to understand why some people could fall for this. Right? So here's the McAfee antivirus. It's a fake virus alert. Your PC is infected with viruses. Right? It has the same colors as McAfee antivirus, has their logo there. It's very convincing looking. You know, again, if you're computer savvy and you're familiar with it, you know, you can tell it's coming from a website. It's just a website pop-up. It's not real. But it has a number to call. And if you call that number, you'll be connected to a scammer. And this is a much more convincing example of these fake virus pop-ups. There's another example. It's a fake pop-up by Norton Symantec, made to look like it's from Norton Symantec. System critically infected, threats detected. Support toll-free helpline. And it has a number to call. So if you call, you'll be connected to a scammer. And what's interesting about this pop-up is it says, if you're not able to click on this button, immediately contact support. Right? It has the go buttons there. And what's kind of funny about this pop-up is the buttons were designed not to do anything. Like if you click, nothing would happen. This way you would read it and say, if you're not able to click this button, immediately contact support. It's just another way they use to try and trick the victim with a fake virus pop-up. If you call that number, you'll be connected to a scammer. A couple more examples of a fake virus alert as an example of a tech support scam. This fake pop-up looks like Windows Defender. It used the same colors. It used the logo. It has the Microsoft logo. And it says, contact Windows support. It has a phone number here, but it's not really Windows support. If you call that number, you'll be connected to a scammer. And see the scary list of under security warning there? Your computer has alerted us that it has been infected with a Trojan spyware. The following data has been compromised: email credentials, banking passwords, Facebook login. Scary stuff, right? But it's fake. It is known as a tech support scam. The victim gets this pop-up, they get scared, and they call this number, and they're actually talking to a scammer. Here's another example of a Windows Defender fake virus alert that leads into a tech support scam. Someone will get this pop-up on their computer, I'll say contact Windows support at this number. It has Windows logo, the colors. It looks very convincing, right? But that's not Windows support. If you call it a number, you'll be connected to a scammer. Now, I said earlier, all devices are susceptible to this kind of attack, right? So far, I just showed you some generic ones, and I showed you some that target Windows users, right? But Apple Mac users are also targeted by this. You could be on your iPhone, you could be using your MacBook, you could be browsing the internet, mind your own business, and then boom, you get this. Virus found. Your Mac computer has 13 infections. Got that same scary list of data at risk. Your credit card details, email password, Facebook, private photos. Your webcam could be accessed remotely. Technicians are standing by to provide you free diagnosis. Call tech support as soon as possible. But it's all fake. It's all scam. You don't have a virus. And the giveaway is that it actually has a number to call. A real virus alert won't have a number to call. That's a giveaway that it's a fake virus alert. If it has a phone number to call, you know it's fake right away. But you can see that this pop-up actually targets Safari users. Right, it's got the Safari logo there. Scary virus found. There's a couple more. That target Apple users. This one impersonates Apple Care. It has the pop-up warning: macOS infected. Call Apple support, and it has a number to call. But it's not really Apple support. It's a scam. But it looks convincing. You know, you're not computer savvy. You're going to fall for this. And some people get nervous too, and that's the whole point of this. They make these fake pop-ups. They make them scary because they want the victim to be nervous and just to make rush decisions. To be like, oh no, I better call this number immediately. Right, and it even has an Apple logo there. And then here's one more example that targets Apple. Please call Apple support or Apple helpline. macOS infected. And it's got another Apple logo there. So these are all part of a tech support scam. It has these fake virus pop-ups that have a number to call. If you call, you get connected to a scammer. And again, the way that you know this is a fake virus alert is you see a phone number there. Real virus alerts won't have a phone number to call. If they have a phone number to call, it's part of a scam. These fake virus alerts. So that was a tech support scam that we just discussed. Showed you a bunch of examples of a tech support scam, fake pop-ups. And that one's important to watch out for, especially for older folks out there. And that's an excellent scam to kick off our live stream with this Thursday evening. This wonderful Thursday evening. How's everybody doing out there? Say hi in the chat. I see John has joined us. This guy John, always here every week. My most loyal follower. Follower and assistant. Got Jamie, Sam Tam. Got a bunch of people. Very cool. Everybody say hi in the chat. Welcome to our weekly live stream. We do this every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. This is by scamaware101.com. I'm Jared. I'm your host, and I'm going over some scam examples to help spread awareness about these scams. And that's our goal here at Scamaware101, spread awareness of these scams so you can help protect yourself and your loved ones from these evil scammers that want to take your money and everything that you have. No joke, they really do. They really do. That's why it's important to spread awareness, because these scammers want to take everything you got. If you haven't clicked the like yet, click that thumbs up. Give us a like. Help us spread awareness by clicking that like button. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel and join our free mailing list at scamaware101.com. Now let's jump into our next scam example here. Next scam we're going to talk about. I'm sure a lot of you must have probably already heard about this one. We talk, especially if you've been on our live streams before. We always hear us talk about it. Unpaid road toll scams. Unpaid road toll scams. Everybody's getting these text messages right now. These fake text messages saying that you have a unpaid road toll. And we actually did this a video about this scam months ago, late last year. But the scam has only picked up even more since then. And what it is text messages are being sent by scammers that impersonate the various road toll services. Sun Pass, Peach Pass, Quick Pass, Easy Pass, Good to Go, North Texas Tollway, Fast Track, Drive Easy Maryland. And that's just to name a few. Since I created this graphic, they started impersonating even more Department of Transportation and toll services. It's wild how many different services these unpaid toll scams are impersonating right now. In fact, let me know in the chat if you got a text message about an unpaid toll. If you received a text message about this scam, let me know in the chat, because everybody's received this text message. If you haven't, start expecting it, because it'll be coming. Remember, you heard it here first. But let me show you some examples. And we also did a video about this scam as well. Like I said, that's on our YouTube channel. But the earlier version of this scam, it started out with, for example, here's 9 examples with all different states mentioned. California toll services, North Carolina toll services, Illinois toll services, your recent trip through New Jersey, Virginia, Ohio toll services, Pennsylvania Turnpike, New York toll services, Florida Sun Pass. And what they do is they say, records indicate that your vehicle has an unpaid toll invoice. To avoid additional charges, please sell your balance of, and it'll say something small like $6, $5. And then what it does, it contains a link to a fake website that steals your personal and financial information. Any credit card details you enter in get stolen. So it's not real. It's a fake text message that's impersonating these toll services. Now, again, this was the original version where it was just very basic. It's just filled into state and all kind of followed the same template. But then different versions started occurring. Here's an example. Final warning, unpaid tolls. Failure to pay may result in further penalties. Deadline, and start inserting a date. Right? It started becoming more threatening, like penalties, loss of license. I started impersonating Easy Drive, Massachusetts. Every other week there was a warning coming out of Massachusetts from law enforcement warning about this scam. Here's a poster at the New York Thruway hung up showing examples of the real and fake text messages from Easy Pass. You're never going to get a text message from Easy Pass saying you owe a toll with a link to pay it. It doesn't work that way. But what we should do is, you could check your app if you're concerned. But here's an example of it impersonating Fast Track. This one threatens to avoid a fine and keep your license. You could pay at, and you can see it comes from it might be a little small on the screen, but it comes from an international number, +663 prefix. So it comes from another country. And again, there's so many different variations of this scam. Every week, somebody actually provides me a new example of this scam. In fact, a buddy of mine provided me an example today, a new example today we haven't seen yet. And here it is, for the first time being shared. Final reminder, toll payment deadline approaching. Your outstanding toll fee is due by March 28th, 2025. Failure to pay may result in suspension of vehicle registration, financial penalties, damage to your credit score. Now they're trying to scare you, saying they're going to damage your credit score. All right. And then it's got a link to some .gy domain extension. And then the funny part about this, and at the end, make the payment right away to avoid the consequences. But then at the very bottom, where it says that, look at this. Thanks, THX. That's pretty funny. It's the first time I saw one of these unpaid road toll scams end with a THX. They're trying to impersonate a government agency. They're trying to impersonate, the Department of Transportation, and they're ending the text message with a THX. Thanks, right? Which is hilarious. But yeah, a buddy of mine sent me this example today. So this one was literally circulating this week. You see, it says due date 28th. It's tomorrow. Which, by the way, that's what they're doing. They're inserting dates now that in these text messages that go out. They're inserting like tomorrow's date to also try and force some urgency. So there's many different versions of these road toll scams, road toll text message scams going out. Now, don't fall for them. Right now, this is the most common scam. If you do a quick search for Google headlines, each page is flooded with different warnings about this scam coming from all across the U.S. And again, we were ahead of the curve, man. We did these video about this one towards the end of last year. It's on our YouTube channel. Check it out. Share it with your friends. Now, in fact, a lot of the scams we're going to talk about tonight on our live stream, a lot of them we did videos about. So definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out our videos later. Share them with friends. A lot of stuff we're going to go over is actually in the videos. So if you see some slides or information that you like, the chances are there's a video that already contains that information on our channel that you could share with someone that might find it interesting or who needs it. So that keeps on getting scammed. Tell us about it in the chat. You have friends getting scammed? You have family getting scammed? So that's a unpaid road toll scam. Again, it's circulating right now. Extremely common. Probably the most common scam going around right now. So if you get a text message saying you have an unpaid toll, it's a scam. Don't pay it. If you're concerned, go to the official website. Don't click the link. Go to the official website or check your app to see what your balance is and if there's an issue. But just be aware. So many fake text messages going out trying to impersonate toll roads, trying to trick victims into clicking a link and giving away their personal and financial info. Unpaid road toll scams. Watch out. If you're just joining us, say hi in the chat. Click that thumbs up. If you haven't clicked the thumbs yet, click it up. Hit that subscribe button. Help us spread awareness about scams. That's our goal here. That's why we do this live stream every week. It's a free live stream. We're just trying to spread awareness about these scams, get the word out. We have a website. We're building a knowledge base about scams. You can see on my screen our homepage here. Go to our website. You can join our free mailing list. So scamaware101.com. A bunch of other useful info on our site. A little later in the stream, we'll show you some areas of the site, specifically the tools and software. We got some really useful links to third parties and resources that are extremely helpful. You follow us: Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube. We're streaming right now live for the first time on Instagram, and we're on YouTube as usual, but I don't see any viewers on Instagram joining us yet. So I don't know what the trick is to get viewers on Instagram. But we'll find out. But YouTube is popping over here in the chat, over on the vertical stream. You see some people on the regular stream, which is awesome too. But it looks like we got some chat going on here in the vertical stream. We got two versions of the stream going, depending on how you like to view it. And we're just going over some scam examples here. Spreading awareness. The way I look at it is we share these examples of scams. We make you aware of the type of scams that are going around. We give you an idea about what these scammers, how far they're willing to go. Who they'll impersonate. They have no moral issue impersonating police or government. They have no issue impersonating family members and friends. It's it's important to be aware of what they're willing to do. So the idea is we spread a little awareness. We go over these scams. We give you a lot of examples. And by doing that, you'll be able to recognize these scams when you're being the target. Or you'll be able to help your loved ones by recognizing when they're being targeted by these scams, So just trying to put something good out there, and that's why we do this every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern. And we also release videos on our YouTube channel as well. But, the best thing you can do to help support our cause right now, because we're not selling anything. So the best thing you can do to help support our cause is just click that thumbs up button, join our free mailing list, scamaware101.com. That's why when we do start selling something, this way we can actually let you know. And then you can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. We have links to all our profiles on our website, scamaware101.com. So check it out, follow us, and definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel and our free email list. If it's your first time joining, say hi in the chat, man. Let us know you're watching, share your experience. Let us know what scams you're running into, what you're being targeted by. Some horror stories that you've heard. We all know somebody that's getting scammed, right? All right, our next scam. Going to talk about wrong number scams. We did a video about this wrong number scam, and it's actually our most popular video. It's our first and only video, I guess, to go viral. It almost got 100,000 views. Almost 100,000. It got up to it's just over 98,000. So we almost cracked 100,000 views on that video, which is pretty cool. You know, a bunch of our other videos, you know, cracked 1,000 views, but this one got 98,000. So almost 100,000 views, which is pretty cool, I think. But anyway, that's the video we have about wrong number scams. And what a wrong number scam is the scammer will send text messages out to random numbers, and it'll just say something random. You know, and it'll be clear it's not meant for who received it. They'll just say something like hi, or they'll say this is for Byron, for example, like a wrong name they'll say. And the idea is to get new victims to respond. It's to get unexpected victims, potential victims, to respond saying, who is this? Or you have the wrong number, right? And once they have that response, they lock them into a conversation. They try to gather information about the victim. And it's a wrong number scam is a way for scammers to pull in new victims, to initiate that contact with potential new marks, right? And if you've ever wondered why you've gotten so many text messages from wrong numbers, this is why. Because it's a very common scam. All right. And let me show you some examples of these wrong number scams to give you an idea how they work. And they usually lead up to a romance scam or a pig butchering type scam. But these wrong number scams could start with something as simple as a text message that says, "Excuse me, is this Emma?" And then the victim replies back, "No, you have the wrong number." Well, now the scammer got what he wanted. He wanted that response. That was the whole point of sending his text message, right? It could start with something as simple as, "Hey, Anna, I'm Josie." Again, the point is it's for you to respond, "Wrong number, sorry." Right? Because the scammer wants that response. They want to know that you receive that text. They want to know that you're reading them, that you're replying. Even with that basic amount of information, they now know to target your number more. They'll target from different phone numbers with different scams, but they now know that you're an active participant that engages in their scam text messages, right? And again, what we're talking about is a wrong number scam, which could start in any kind of way, any kind of message from a scammer. It can start as something as simple as hi, because then you respond saying, "Who is this?" Because you don't recognize the phone number. And now the scammer got what he wanted. He got you to reply, right? Once they get that reply, next they acknowledge, "Oh, I'm sorry, I got a wrong number." But what the scammer does is, instead of the conversation ending at that point, which if this was a normal case of a wrong number, the conversation would end at that point. It's been acknowledged, wrong number, right? But since this is a scam, the scammer tries to keep the conversation going. They try to gather information from you. So here's another example with the conversation going a little bit longer. Here's the wrong number, the random message that starts, "I'm Margaret. Are you Lillian?" "No, I'm Izzy." Right? And then the scammer replies back, "I'm really sorry. I think I made a mistake between your number and Lillian's number." You know, the person replies back, "That's okay." The conversation ends at this point. But the scammer keeps going. "Thank you for your understanding and patience. You're a kind person. I hope you have a good day today. I'm 36 years old. Would you mind telling me your age?" So they're going to start asking information. They're going to try to ask your age. All right, here's another example. Random message comes out of nowhere. "Have a cup of coffee together?" Person replies, "Who is this?" They just fell for the scam. They just fell for the hook, right? And replied. They give the excuse, oh, I'm sorry, my friend Laura, Zoe. Yeah, wrong number. It should stop at that point. I'm sorry, I thought this was Laura's number. I dialed the wrong number, area code. No, you're good. Have a great day. Right? It doesn't stop. The person doesn't go away. And then, thank you for your kindness to my situation. I just realized that I entered the wrong area code. Where are you from? Right? So now they're asking where you're from. This is what they're always going to do. They're going to start this conversation with a weird wrong number way, give you some excuse, and then be like, oh, you seem nice. Where are you from? What is your age? What is your name? They're going to try to pull this information out of you and decide which scam to go with. A lot of times this is a bot too. It's not even a real person sitting there texting. Oh, this is a bot. It's a bot starting this off, and then at a certain point it gets handed off to a real scammer to proceed with something like a romance scam or a pig butchering scam. But this is an example of a wrong number scam. And again, the whole point of the wrong number scam itself is to pull in a new victim, to find new victims, to pull them in, and then it evolves into a different type of scam. Right? The wrong number scam itself, at the very least, it knows it's an active number. But it evolves into a different scam. It evolves into a pig butchering scam. It evolves into a romance scam. But the wrong number part of it, the wrong number scam part of it, is just to find and pull in new targets and new victims, to get a response from potential victims and get that conversation going. A couple more examples of wrong number scam for you. So this is one that I received, my friend received, and we kept the conversation going on purpose to use and share, in our videos, in our live streams here. So we get the random text message, hi, right? And like I said, these wrong number scams, that they could start, that's as simply as they could start, as simple as a message says hi, right? Reply back, hi, who is this? Like a normal person would, doesn't realize it's a scam. They reply back, I'm Karina, are you David? We met last week at Linda's party. You picked this number for me. They give you the BS story. We reply back, hi, sorry, you have the wrong number. Like a normal person would. And at that point, it should stop, right? They reply back, oh my gosh, I checked and found out I entered the wrong area code. A lot of times, that's narrative. I entered the wrong area code. All right, reply back, that's okay, no problem. The conversation should be over if it's a real wrong number, right? But instead, they reply, thank you very much. You are a very friendly and polite person. I hope we could be friends. Nice to meet you. My name is Karina. What can I call you? And we replied Pat because, Pat could be male or female, right? So if we mess them a little bit, just reply Pat. And they replied back, you have a beautiful name. I'm from Malaysia, currently living in Los Angeles. Where do you live? So now they're asking where we live. And that's how these wrong number scams go. They ask you where you live. They ask your name. They ask how old you are. And then based on that, they determine which route to go with the scam. They'll also ask you to continue talking on WhatsApp, which is a red flag that we'll talk about later. But scammers love to continue conversations on WhatsApp or a third-party chat app. But anyway, so this is a real-life example of how a wrong number scam gets started. It starts with a random number. They apologize. Oh, I'm sorry, but you seem friendly. And then they start asking you all this information about yourself. One more example of a wrong number scam. And again, this one was sent to me. This targeted me. Back on October 17th. So still relatively new. Hi, Byron. I'm Jane. Right? And then they send the picture of the woman. And that was received at 1:58 p.m. And I didn't reply. I knew it was a scam. I didn't reply. Exactly 4 hours to the minute. 5:58 p.m. A follow-up text comes through saying, have you gotten the pictures I sent? So this is a bot that's probably sending out this text message to thousands and thousands of random phone numbers. And at 4 hours after not getting a response, it follows up. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? Right. And, it's obvious. It includes a picture of a woman trying to get a response and entice people to reply. So, a lot of people who, again, this wrong number scam video, it received 98,000 views, tons of comments, and quite a few comments actually said they received the exact same text message, the exact same picture. Right, so it's very common for this picture to circulate as a scam. They use it as a wrong number scam, and the idea is just to get a response. They want a response. In the case of a wrong number scam, the best thing to do is not to reply at all. Even if it starts off with something like, hi, or you feel like it's a legit case where someone's got a wrong number, it's not even worth replying. You know, you wanna be kind. You want to let the stranger know, oh, you got a wrong phone number. But even that puts yourself at risk. You know, so it's better not even to reply to numbers that have the wrong number, because chances are it's a scam in itself. It's sad, but you got to keep that kind of guard up. So let me know in the chat. Have you gotten text messages like this? How do you get hit with lots of wrong number text messages and you're like, what's going on? Why am I getting so many wrong number text messages? You know, have you been pulled into this scam where you start talking to somebody and they're sending you pictures and asking you to chat on WhatsApp? You know, have you gotten pulled in and luckily figured it out before it was too late? You know, let's hear your stories. Tell us in the chat. Says wrong number scam. All right, seeing some more viewers, some more people in the chat. Say hi. Let me know you're watching. Looks like John's having technical difficulties with the chat. I don't know if anybody else is. Looks like it's working for me. We're broadcasting live on Instagram for the first time today, but I don't see any viewers. So I don't know how the heck you're supposed to get viewers on Instagram. I know that many followers, but I thought maybe we'll get some viewers here. Thought random people could find it, but I don't know. Whatever. The live stream on YouTube is popping, though. We got 2 streams going, one in vertical view and one a widescreen view. So hit that thumbs up button on both. Help us spread awareness. Say hi in the chat. If you don't subscribe to our YouTube channel yet, please take a moment and subscribe. Our goal here is to spread awareness. We do this live stream every week, every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. And we want to spread awareness of these scams to help you identify these scams, protect yourself and your loved ones from these terrible scammers that want to take all your money. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, X, Blue Sky, all your favorite social media platforms. Join our free mailing list, scamaware101.com. You got our website right here, and you click Join Mailing List. We won't spam you, I promise. We just send out reminders about our live streams. We'll send you some occasional scam awareness tips. We won't sell your information. We'll keep it private, and you can always unsubscribe. We don't abuse the privilege there. So thank you for joining our live stream. It's your first time here, say hi in the chat. Click the thumbs up. Give us click the heart, or the 100%, or any of these other emoticons in the chat. I think it all helps people find us. All right, and that's the goal here. You can help us spread awareness by clicking that like button. And we're going to continue with the scam examples here. By the way, the last 3 examples, the last 3 types of scams, we showed examples of the tech support scam, the unpaid road toll scam, the wrong number scams. We have a video for each of those types of scams available on our YouTube channel. So if there's anyone that you need to make aware of these scams, or loved ones that you want to keep them in a loop, you can actually find those videos on our YouTube channel. You can share them with your loved ones. Tech support scam, the road toll scam, the wrong number scam. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's all good stuff. Help us spread awareness. Our next example is going to be arrest warrant scams, which we also did a video about as well. But this scam is extremely common. When we're checking the headlines each week, seeing what warnings are coming out about scams, what law enforcement is talking about, they're talking about these arrest warrant scams. A lot of warnings about it. Maybe they're a little partial because, or a little biased because this scam actually impersonates law enforcement. But regardless, we're seeing lots of warnings about this scam out there. And we also did a video about this scam. But basically how it works is these fake arrest warrant scams, you'll get a call from a scammer impersonating law enforcement. Often they'll be impersonating a sheriff or your local police department. and they'll say that there's going to be an arrest warrant issued, or there already has been an arrest warrant issued, and you must pay fines immediately to resolve it. So they try to scare the victim, telling them there is or will be an arrest warrant issued, right? And they'll demand payment to resolve the issue over immediately. And they'll threaten the victim, if you don't pay immediately, I'm going to send my deputies out there to arrest you. This one really relies on fear and scaring the victim. So they call up the victim, they impersonate law enforcement, they say there's an arrest warrant out, and you need to pay these fines now. And sadly, the victims do. They get scared and they follow whatever payment instructions the scammer asks them to do. Now, what's interesting about this scam and what's been mentioned in a lot of these warnings and alerts about this scam is when you get the call from the scammer, your caller ID will show, in many cases, it will show the phone number of the sheriff's office or the phone number of the police department that the scammer is impersonating. And that's a key point to remember when it comes to these scams and many other scams, specifically bank impersonation, law enforcement impersonation, government impersonation. The scammer can control what the caller ID shows. So the takeaway there is you can't rely on caller ID to verify who you're actually talking to. Just because somebody calls up, they say they're with the sheriff's office, your caller ID shows the number of the sheriff's office, that's not good enough. That's not enough to confirm you're actually talking to the sheriff's office. Because scammers are actively doing this. They're actively calling victims, they're impersonating the sheriff, and the caller ID is showing the sheriff's phone number. So it's important to realize you can't count on that number. You can't trust that number. You need to verify in other ways. By hanging up and calling the sheriff's office directly if you're concerned about it. But again, these arrest warrant scams, you need to watch out for them. They're very clever. We did a video on this. One of the news clips that we show in the video, and as part of the warning, is these scammers will also provide fake paperwork a lot of times. They've taken court paperwork and documents, and they've modified it to fit their scam. So they'll reach the victims, and they'll provide fake paperwork that looks like there's going to be an arrest warrant issued or it has been. So it could be a very scary situation for somebody. And that's what the scammers count on. A lot of times what they'll do is when they're calling up, they say that there's an arrest warrant. A lot of times the reason they'll give is they'll say you missed a jury duty. So arrest warrant scams, jury duty scams, they kind of go together. A jury duty scam is when they call you up, they say you missed jury duty, and there's going to be a warrant issued. Or a warrant has already been issued. Very similar to just a straight up arrest warrant scam where they say arrest warrant was issued. And they can give any reason, but typically it's you missed jury duty. Very common scam right now. Some key takeaways about arrest warrant scams. Again, can't say it enough. I'm going to mention it a bunch more on this live stream tonight because it's very important to know this and remember this and to spread the word and let your loved ones know. Scammers can manipulate the phone number shown on caller ID. All right. Need to remember that, need to acknowledge that, need to let your loved ones know about that. Too many victims become a victim because they saw the number on caller ID and they thought, oh, I could trust it. It's really my bank. It's really the sheriff's office or whatever the case. And they didn't realize they can't trust caller ID. So that one little key piece of information there, a little bit more awareness about that could make a big difference, right? So key takeaway number one, regarding arrest warrant scams and many other scams, scammers can manipulate the phone number shown on caller ID. Can't trust caller ID. Key takeaway number two about arrest warrant scams, scammers provide fake paperwork to convince victims an arrest warrant is real. So watch out for fake paperwork as well. They'll offer to email it to you, but it'll be fake. Someone urges you to make immediate payment over the phone, it's a red flag. And that goes for a lot of other scams too. If they're trying to scare you into making an immediate payment, making threats, it's a red flag. If you get a phone call claiming a warrant was issued for your arrest, ask for the name of the organization that issued the warrant, hang up, and call the organization directly. Do not engage with the scammer who contacted you. All right. So that's a warrant scam / jury duty scam. Extremely common right now. Scammers are calling on the phone, impersonating law enforcement in a sheriff's office, local sheriff's office. So be aware of it and watch out for that one. Arrest warrant scams. How we all doing out there? Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. I see some more viewers out there watching, so it's pretty cool. Hit that thumbs up. Give the video a like. Help our live stream get out there a little bit more. Help us spread awareness about these scams. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join our free mailing list, scamaware101.com. Let's go to the website, scamaware101.com. Click join mailing list. You can also follow us on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. We do this live stream every week, spreading awareness about scams. Tell us in the chat which scams you're dealing with, what you've run into, what you've had to help family members with. A lot of horror stories out there. Everybody knows somebody has been scammed. Which is why you do this live stream. Our goal really is just spread awareness. A little bit of awareness can make a big difference. We truly believe that. So if I haven't yet, click that thumbs up. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Come on, throw us a bone, help us out. The more subscribers we get, the more likes we get, the more exposure we get. So, next example of a scam that we're going to discuss. Piggybacking off a little bit about the arrest warrant scam. We're going to talk about a bank impersonation scam. And the reason why I'm saying piggybacking off of the arrest warrant scam is these bank impersonation scams, they're targeting victims with phone calls and text messages, but the phone calls are showing the bank's phone number. The scammers are showing the bank's phone number on caller ID. So just like we said for the previous scam we were discussing, you can't trust the caller ID. And unfortunately, these bank impersonation scams, almost every one, the victim fell for it because they saw the caller ID. It matched the number on the back of their card. So they thought that, okay, I must really be talking to my bank. They didn't realize that a scammer could manipulate the phone number that's shown. So again, that's key to remember, that the scammers control what the caller ID shows. Just because it shows the bank doesn't mean you're actually talking to the bank. Just because it shows law enforcement doesn't mean you're actually talking to local law enforcement. You cannot trust caller ID. You need any unsolicited phone call you get, you have to hang up, and you have to verify by calling the official phone number or checking your account, whatever the case may be. But you can't just trust an unsolicited phone call from someone anymore. It doesn't matter how much information they know about you. It doesn't matter what the caller ID says. You have to be suspicious. You have to be, vigilant. Stay vigilant is what they like to say, But anyway, we're talking about bank impersonation scams. And what you can see on my screen right now is an example of a text message scam that's impersonating TD Bank. And what it says is, verify TD Bank card activity. Did you attempt a transaction for $250 at Walgreens? Reply yes if recognized, or no if not, or stop to stop messages. All right. So this text message was actually provided to me by a friend. So this was a few weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago. And it comes along with a story. So before this scam text message was received, she actually received a phone call immediately before. And the phone call showed on caller ID the phone number for TD Bank. But it was a scam. She didn't answer the phone. And immediately after not answering the phone, she gets a text message that says verify TD Bank card activity and a fraud alert or transaction confirmation, right? That you see on my screen. So the scammer attempted to reach her by phone and then by text message. And again, the phone number showed TD Bank's phone number. So always remember that you can't trust the caller ID. They're using it to impersonate banks, police. They can impersonate anybody they want on the caller ID. So she gets targeted by the phone call, then she gets targeted by the text message. And we actually give the bank a call to get some tips from them to determine how you could tell if these text messages are fake or not. And they actually gave us some useful information. So there's a couple of giveaways of this text message that's claiming to be from TD Bank. The first giveaway is that it came from an actual phone number. If this had been a real text message from a bank, it would have been one of those short code phone numbers with 5 digits. It wouldn't be an actual phone number like this. It would have been one of those short code phone numbers. So that's indicator number 1. Indicator number 2 that this isn't real text message is if this had been actually from the bank, it would have referenced the account in some way. It would have mentioned the last 4 digits of the account. It would have given some kind of indicator which account it was referencing here. Now, I'm not saying that if it does include the account number, you could trust it. Scammers may very well already have the last 4 digit account number and include it next time. But the fact that it's missing from the text message is an indicator that this isn't from your bank. If it was from your bank, it would have at least had an indicator of which account. Show last 4 digits or whatever the case. And then the third indicator was the capitalization is off, right? Like if you look at it, it's like the verified TD Bank card activity, like the C in card is capitalized, which is weird. Did you attempt a transaction? The T in transaction is capitalized for no reason, which is kind of weird. For $2.50 at Walgreens, reply is capitalized for no reason, which is kind of weird. The N here in not, or N if not, like the N in not is capitalized, is kind of weird. So there's just weird capitalization too, which is a little bit of a giveaway that this is also a scam text message. So anyway, the point we're trying to get across here is watch out for bank impersonation scams. They are targeting victims over the phone. They're targeting them through text messaging. They're using little tricks to try and appear legit when they're not, manipulating what the caller ID shows. They may very well have already known that she was a TD Bank user. So she was targeted with a TD Bank scam. A lot of these scammers, they already know what banks their victims or their targets are using. They already have that information. So you'll get this message and it'll have your bank's name in there. And they're only going to get even more convincing. So watch out for these bank impersonation scams. Extremely common right now. And they're tricky. Very tricky. They'll clear out your accounts, all of them. These scammers. All right, cool. So that's the first batch of examples we were going to give. That's the first five different scam types that we showed examples for. We got a lot more coming up for sure. Just updating our schedule here. We're going to go to red flags next. In the meantime, say hi in the chat. Let us know if it's your first time here or not. Tell us how you heard about us. We do this live stream every week, every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. And our goal here at Scam Aware 101 is to spread awareness. You can help us spread awareness by clicking that thumbs up, clicking the like button, subscribing to our YouTube channel, join our mailing list, our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. And following us on your favorite social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, all your favorite social media websites. Hope you're all having a wonderful Thursday evening. We're going to start going over red flags in about 1 minute. Because these red flags are extremely important when it comes to recognizing scams. You hear about the stories from the victims, and so many times their stories are so similar in that there were certain red flags where it was like if they were just aware of this one red flag, they could have avoided becoming a victim. If they were just aware of like the payment options that scammers ask for, or the common narrative that they like to feed victims. A little awareness could have prevented Um, I mean, their life savings were getting cleared out. You know, it's serious. These scammers take everything. And a lot of times it's not covered. So the bank loves to tell you that your family, your money's safe here, your money's insured. But what they don't tell you is that when a scammer tricks these victims into withdrawing the money or wiring the money to a scammer, that's actually not covered under their policies. That's not covered under insurance. You don't get your money back when you do that. You know, you withdrew the money, you transferred it. It wasn't like somebody went into your account and stole the money. They tricked you into sending the money. And in that case, that's not considered fraud. That's actually considered scam, but it's not considered fraud. And fraud is what the bank covers. They don't cover when these victims are tricked into withdrawing their money and purchasing gift cards. The bank doesn't cover that. You're not going to get your money back from the bank for that. So a lot of these victims, they never recover the funds. They never recover the money. Sometimes, very rarely do they get all of it. Sometimes, if they're lucky, they'll get some of it. But most victims, they never recover the money at all. And some people lose their life savings, their retirement funds. You know, seniors that have a limited income lose everything. And these scammers clear it all out. They don't just go after your checking account. They'll go after your checking account, your savings account, your investment accounts, your credit cards. They take it all for these victims. They're ruthless, these scammers. And that's why we do this live stream every week, every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. You know, spreading awareness. The red flags that we're about to go over here, we have a video about as well that uses these slides. So if any of these red flags, you know, you want to share them with a loved one, or even share all the red flags with a loved one, you know, the video is on our YouTube channel. It's available to share. So definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. Makes it easy to check back later. You know, I think before we go into red flags, I actually might just go refill my coffee cup real quick. Yeah. That's the plan. We're going to take a 5-minute coffee break, get a refill going here, and we're going to red flags. How we all doing out there? Doing good tonight? Gonna take a quick coffee break, 5 minutes here. I don't know if I just froze my Instagram live stream or not. It's acting a little funky. All right. Coffee break almost done. Had to go refill my Scamware 101 travel mug, available on our YouTube channel. Keep that coffee nice and hot. About ready to go into the second part of our live stream here. If it's the first time joining, say hi in the chat. Click that thumbs up. Let us know how you found us. Our goal is to spread awareness about these scams, and we do this live stream once a week, every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. We kick it off and start showing some scam examples. We just wrapped up going through 5 common scam examples, and now we're going into some common red flags that indicate you're talking to a scammer. After that, we'll circle back and go over some more common scams. So lots of good stuff coming up tonight. Stick around for a bit. Say hi. Tell us about your experience with scams in the chat. Ones that you're being targeted with. Red flags that you're noticing. You know, again, our goal is to spread awareness. So the more engagement we get, the more it helps. With that said, let's talk about some scammer red flags. So we did a video about this, 5 red flags that indicate you're dealing with a scammer. So if you want to share anything we're about to discuss now and these slides, they're all in that video. So you can go share that later or review it later if you want to come back. But anyway, let's get started on these red flags that indicate you're dealing with a scammer. And again, a lot of times when you hear these victim stories, and the red flags we're about ready to discuss are the common things that stick out that victims just didn't realize, where if they were aware of one of these things, it could have made all the difference. So the first red flag on our list, there's many more than 5, but we're going to stick with 5 for now. The first red flag on our list is they direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. Scammers love third-party chat apps like Telegram and WhatsApp. It's easier to communicate with victims in other countries. For example, they don't want to see her sending text messages to out-of-country phone numbers. They get you on a chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp. Then they can talk to you in a chat, put as long as messages as they want, send pictures. They can really work their scam on you a lot easier once they get you into a third-party chat app. And also, it offers a lot more anonymity to the scammer. You know, it's easier for them to hide who they are behind these apps like Telegram and WhatsApp. So it's always a major red flag. If you're talking with someone, you don't know who they are, they contacted you through an unsolicited text message or email, phone call. If they're trying to get you to start using Telegram or WhatsApp to talk, it's a red flag. And some examples of scams where this is actually part of the playbook, where it's actually part of the playbook for them to get you to use a third-party app like Telegram, in romance scams. You know, the scammers put up fake dating profiles to lure in new victims, right? They find matches on these dating websites, and once they start talking to the matches, they direct them to continue talking on WhatsApp. So you see that a lot on dating websites that trying to do romance scams. Wrong number scams. You know, we talked about wrong number scams earlier. It starts with a text message just probing for new victims, right? It wants to get a response from a victim. But once it actually gets a response and the victim starts engaging with the scammer, they'll try to move the conversation over to WhatsApp. It's a lot easier for the scammer to build up a trust using a third-party app like WhatsApp. Investment scams. They'll direct the victim to a Telegram group or WhatsApp group to pump up an investment or appear more legit. You know, and that Telegram group will have all bots in it. You don't even realize it's not real people. But they'll utilize these tools to try and create this illusion of interest in this investment. You know, using Telegram or WhatsApp. So watch out for that. That's red flag number 1. They try to direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. Red flag number 2. This is a good one, and we see this. We already saw this a lot in the examples we were talking about. They request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. Right? They request these unusual forms of payment that seem unusual, right? Why do scammers want to get paid in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency. Why do they have their victims go depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM? Because it's easier for them to move and transfer the funds quickly. In most cases, a lot of those transactions are instant. Once they have the ID, the number of the prepaid cards or receive the cryptocurrency, once they have that, you can't really get back. Which leads us to it's harder for victims to recover the money after it's sent in these ways. So it's a major red flag if they're requesting payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency. Any mentions of a Bitcoin ATM, that's a red flag. Especially if who you're talking to is claiming to be a government organization. Government organizations like Social Security or IRS, banks, they don't accept these types of payments. So it's a scam. Some scams that actually use this as part of the playbook for them to request these gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency. I mean, most of them do this. This is a major red flag for most scams because this is how they request payment. But some specific ones, IRS and Social Security scams. Scammers impersonate a government agency. They ask for payment in gift cards or cryptocurrency. And that's a scam. The government agencies do not accept those forms of payment. And that's important to know. That's a major red flag. And many victims could have been saved if they realized that. Romance scams. Scammers will often request gift cards and cryptocurrency from an emotionally attached victim. They'll have the victim depositing cryptocurrency in a bank account, claiming it's for them to use together in their life, in their future. They'll request gift cards as just an easy way to send me, money. But it's actually a scammer, and once they have these forms of payment, once they receive it, they know the victim can't get it back. Bank impersonation scams. This is where that phantom hacker narrative comes into place, right? Victims withdraw cash from the bank and purchase gift cards as instructed by scammers. The scammers tell the victim that their money's not safe. A hacker's gotten into their account. They need to withdraw it. They need to purchase gift cards or purchase cryptocurrency or deposit as a Bitcoin ATM to keep it safe. But that's part of the scam. That they're actually transferring the money to a scammer. Right, so those are all red flag. Red flag number 2. All those unusual forms of payment being requested by gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, using a Bitcoin ATM, all red flags. You need to stop and reconsider what's going on here. How are we doing out there? Say hi in the chat. Click that heart. Let me know you're watching. Click that thumbs up if you haven't yet. Red flag number 3. They ask you to provide a code that they're sending to your phone via text message. This scam is extremely common on marketplace websites. And what's actually happening is someone will impersonate a buyer or a seller, and they'll say, hey, I just want to confirm your phone number or confirm your identity. Send me the code that I'm going to send you. Right? But that's a scam. You should never provide a code that someone's saying they're going to send to you. Why would somebody send you a code? They might be trying to open an account under your phone number. They might be trying to log into an account linked to your phone number, like your bank account. They might be trying to reset a password to one of your accounts. Trying to gain access to your account by resetting a password. All these things might require a code to be sent to your phone and confirmed. And that's what the scammer is doing. He's trying to create an account or get into one of your accounts, and the account is sending you a code to confirm. If you give that code back to the scammer, you're going to allow them into the account. So if someone's asking you to provide a code back to them that they're going to send you, it's a red flag. Some specific types of scams where that's built into the playbook, right? Account logins attempts. Providing the code will allow a scammer to log in and access your account. Right? Password reset requests. Providing the code resets your password and allows the scammer access to your account. Right? You never want to provide a code to somebody that's some stranger asking you to provide a code they're sending. And the other one is Google Voice scams. Providing the code allows your phone number to be linked to a fraudulent Google Voice account. That's a very specific scam that a lot of scammers like to have Google Voice accounts linked to fraudulent phone numbers that aren't theirs. Because then they could go out and scam more people and use a fraudulent Google Voice account that leads back to you instead of them. Right? So you don't want to provide codes to people asking you to provide codes. There's no reason for individuals to be asking you to provide codes. They're going to text you. So major red flag. Don't do it. That's red flag number 3, that you're dealing with a scammer. And again, a lot of times you'll see this red flag on marketplace websites like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. It's used a lot. This type of scam is used a lot during merchant buyer seller situations. How we doing out there? Click that thumbs up if you haven't yet. Say hi in the chat. Let us know if it's your first time seeing one of our live streams. Just going over some red flags here to indicate you're dealing with a scammer. Earlier in the live stream, we got through about 5 examples of different scams, and we're going to go into another 5 after we get through these red flags. We're on red flag number 4 of the 5 that we're going to share right now about identifying that you're dealing with a scammer, that you're being scammed. Red flag number 4. They ask to connect your PC to assist or investigate an issue. So, scammers love to get on to victims' PCs. Why? Because they could steal the victim's logins and passwords, right? So if you have your logins saved in Chrome, for example, if a scammer gets onto your PC, they can extract those passwords. So they'll have your logins. They'll steal your files. They'll have access to your files. They could encrypt them and hold them ransom. If they find anything, embarrassing, pictures, financial information, they're going to use it against you. They're going to attempt to access your online banking websites. Once they're on your PC and they have you log in, because you won't realize you're talking to a scammer. The victim thinks that they're talking to someone from the bank, or a government agency, and they're letting the scammer onto the computer without realizing it. And they'll be instructed to log into each of their bank accounts. And they'll do it. They'll think that they're talking to, a bank. But in reality, it's a scammer. They're on the PC, and as they're logging into each bank account, they're just getting their credentials stolen and their bank account cleared out each time. Log into your checking account. Okay, boom, cleared out. Log into your savings account. Okay, boom, cleared out. Log into your investment account. Boom, cleared out. Do you have anything else? Oh, Bitcoin. Log into your Bitcoin account. Boom, cleared out. That's what these scammers do when they get on. They try to get as much as they can and clear it all out. And getting onto your computer, getting onto the victim's computer, it's the keys to the castle. Once they're on, potentially they get access to anything that the victim would access on their PC. So it's always a red flag when somebody's trying to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. Some examples of scams that this is part of the playbook, and unfortunately, it's become more common over the years for scammers to try and get access to their victims' PCs. Some examples are tech support scams. The fake virus alerts that say call this number. It was the first example that we shared earlier in the live stream. The fake virus alert, it pops up. You call this number, think you're dealing with tech support, and the first thing the scammer does is they ask to connect your PC to help with the virus. That's the trick to get into the victim's PC. Oh, I'm with tech support, let me help you. You called me, so it's safe, and then they connect to the victim's PC and start stealing their stuff. Fake order scams. We'll go over those in a little bit, but this is when a victim reaches out to a scammer, thinking it's customer support, and the scammer, who's impersonating customer support, offers to assist the victim by accessing their PC. Let me go on your PC. We'll take a look at your account together, and I'll assist you with this order. Right? But it's a scam. That's what the scammer's saying, just to get access to the victim's PC. The fake fraudulent activity. We mentioned this one in an earlier red flag, but this is when they impersonate an agency investigating fraud. So this is when you think you're talking to a bank. Oh, somebody has access to your account. Or they'll say, we're investigating fraud. We've seen someone has access to your account. We're investigating it. Let us connect to your PC and look at your account. Log into your other bank accounts. We'll check if there's any malicious or suspicious activity under them. Right? It's all part of their narrative, their lies, and the scam to connect to the victim's PC. So you need to watch out for that. It's a red flag. If someone's offering to connect to your PC to assist with an issue, to assist or investigate an issue, it's a red flag. That's red flag number 4. And one last thing to say about that is something that I always remind people of is your PC, you should already have just a reserved, dedicated person that deals with your PC. You know how a lot of people have their mechanic. They always go to a mechanic, and if there's any problems with their car, they go to a mechanic. You should have your PC guy, right? So
in cases like this where fake virus alerts are popping up, it's trying to trick you into calling a number. It shouldn't even cross your mind to call that number because you got your guy that you're calling. You got your PC guy, whether it's the local computer shop down the street or that family member that's good with PCs or the friend that's good with computers or the person you work with, that does tech support. But you should figure out in your head who's your go-to for anything tech related to your PC. So if you're ever put in a situation where it's saying call this phone number, no, I'm not calling this number. I got my computer guy. Let me call them and find out what's going on about this virus alert. So anyway, that's just how I think about it. That's how really everybody should think about it. You should always be, only let certain people on your PC that you could trust. And it doesn't include random numbers that pop up, saying you have a virus. It's red flag number 4. Let's take a look at red flag number 5. They request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. So this is a big one. And it's definitely a red flag when you come across a situation. So it's common for scammers to ask for confidentiality. They don't want you to discuss the situation with other people. The more people you talk to, the more likely you'll be told it's a scam, right? If you don't realize it's a scam, but you start going and talking to people asking their opinion, it's more likely those people are going to be like, hey, man, some of those people are going to be like, it sounds a little sketch, or I heard about this scam, So scammers want to keep the situation confidential. They want to keep it secret. They don't want the victim running around talking to people or consulting with people or asking for assistance from other people. They want to keep everything between them and the victim, at least until they get all their money, right? Some scams where it's part of the playbook to ask for confidentiality or secrecy, right? Grandparent scams. And we're going to talk about those soon, a little later in the live stream here. But grandparent scams. That's when they say a relative has been arrested, son or daughter has been arrested, they need money for release. What they'll do is the scammer will claim the relative is embarrassed and asked not to tell anybody. Right? That's the request for secrecy. That's a red flag. Like, investment scams. They'll say it's an inside tip and not to tell anybody, or a price is just for you. Don't tell anybody. That's a request for secrecy. Inheritance scams. They'll mail letters impersonating law offices regarding an inheritance. And the letter will request confidentiality. It's a red flag. Requests confidentiality. We have an example of that later on too. And then again, a fake fraudulent activity. They're impersonating an agency, a bank or an agency investigating fraud. They're investigating somebody that has access to your account. What they'll do is they'll say, because it's an investigation, they'll ask you not to tell anybody. Don't tell your friends and family about this. Don't tell the bank teller about this. The bank is under investigation too, so if you mention it, you could blow the investigation for it all. That's their BS story to try and ask for secrecy, to ask for you to keep it confidential, and that's a red flag. So anytime someone's asking for confidentiality, secrecy, it's a red flag, especially if it's coming from a government agency, IRS or something like that. So that's red flag number 5. They ask you to keep it confidential or secret. If you just joined us, say hi in the chat, click that thumbs up. So we just went over 5 red flags that indicate you're dealing with a scammer. Just to review it real quick for anybody just joining us now, those 5 red flags were: they direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. Right? Red flag, they want to get you over to a third-party chat app. 2, they request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. All red flags. All those strange, unusual ways to make payment. Especially if they're claiming to be a government agency. It's a scam because those forms of payment aren't accepted. And if you hear about Bitcoin ATM, boom, red flag. If they're trying to send you to a Bitcoin machine, Bitcoin ATM, you're dealing with a scammer. Watch out. Red flag number 3. They ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. That's a red flag. Chances are they're trying to create an account linked to your phone number, or trying to get into one of your accounts, resetting a password that's linked to your phone number. There's no reason that somebody should be sending you a code to your phone and ask you to send it back. It's a big red flag, and don't trust it. It's a scam. Red flag number 4, they ask to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. Always a big red flag. We deal with that with tech support scams. As the whole idea is for you to unknowingly call a scammer, and the scammer connects to your PC. So that's red flag number 4. They try to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. And then red flag number 5, they request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. And we'll show you some more examples of that in upcoming scam examples. But that's red flag number 5. They're asking you to keep it confidential or secret. It's because they don't want you to talk to people. They don't want you to realize that's a scam. So secrecy or confidentiality is a red flag. And there you have it. It's 5 red flags that you're dealing with a scammer. How are you all doing out there? Thanks for tuning in. If you're first time joining a Scam Aware 101 live stream, we do this every week at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Our goal is to spread awareness of scams. So we show common examples, go over red flags like the red flags we just did now. We also release videos on our YouTube channel, so make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out our videos a little later as well. If you missed this 5 red flags video, we actually have the video that you can watch later. The same slides using that video. And hit that thumbs up. Give us a like. Help us spread awareness about scams. That's our goal. We're trying to do something good, put something good out into the universe. Because you hear these stories about people falling for scams, losing their life savings, especially older folks, and it's heartbreaking, A little awareness can make all the difference. So that's why we do this. You join our free mailing list by going to scamaware101.com. Click join mailing list. We send out reminders when we do our live streams, and we'll send out some useful scam awareness info. We don't abuse privilege. We don't sell or share your email with anybody, but you could unsubscribe at any time. But it's free. You can join scamaware101.com. Click join mailing list. How are we all doing this wonderful Thursday night? Say hi in the chat. Don't be shy. Hit the heart and 100% and all the other cool, fun emoticons. So we just wrapped up 5 red flags you're dealing with a scammer. And next, we're going to go through another batch of common scams. And now something to keep in mind is all the scams that we're talking about here, all the examples we're showing you, these are all recent examples. A lot of them were submitted by people I know, as soon as they received them. Some of them I received directly myself. And they're all recent. There's not much here that's older than, most of the stuff's within a few months old, but there's nothing here that's really older than six months, maybe a year. Definitely nothing older than a year. But lots of examples of the different types of scams that are out there. They're all active. They're all current. They're all circulating now. They're not outdated scams. Even the snail mail scams. The actual U.S. Postal Service letters. Scammers that the ones we're going to show you a little later. They're all actively circulating now. They're only within the past few months old. So they're out there and targeting you and targeting people you know. So click that thumbs up. Help us spread awareness. We're about ready to go into another batch of common scams. We'll show you some more examples. Some good ones coming up. We got the fake order scam coming up, a grandparent scam. We got a great video of a scammer whose webcam got hacked. We're going to show you that so you can actually watch a scammer perform one of these grandparent scams. Undeliverable package scam. Remember those from during the holidays? We'll talk about those for a little bit. Fake retail websites. Always important to remember those. More commonly during the holidays, but gift card, emails, scams. Lots of good stuff coming up right now that we're going to start going over. So hit that thumbs up, say hi in the chat. All right, let's talk some more scams. Yeah, as we go through these, if anybody's encountered these, recognized anything, let us know in the chat, man. We want to hear your experiences, what you're running into, what red flags you're seeing. It's all part of sharing our stories, spreading awareness, letting people know what's going on. So the next scam we're going to talk about, and this one's we're being targeted from all angles when it comes to this scam. We're going to talk about a fake order scam. This is when victims receive a fake notification that an order was made under their account. When the victim calls to dispute the fake order, they're connected to a scammer who attempts to steal the personal and financial information. And think about these fake order scams. Victims are being targeted by fake email notifications, fake text message notifications, fake phone call notifications, all claiming that an order was placed and trying to trick the victim into calling a scammer. The examples that we're about to share with you, we have examples of all three methods. We have examples of the text message. We have two examples of the phone calls that we're going to play for you. And we have an example of a victim who fell for the email version of this scam. So again, these fake order scammers, they're targeting victims by email, by text message, by phone call, and they're extremely active right now. These examples I'm going to share, they're all within a couple months old. You know, they're currently circulating these robocalls that we're going to play. But before we play the robocall, let me show you the text message example. So here's the fake order notification text message that's going around. It's a scam text message. It's not real. And it says that your Apple iCloud ID was recently used at an Apple store for $143 paid by Apple Pay pre-authorization. It then says there's some suspicious sign-in requests and that looks suspicious. Right, and it says, in order to maintain the privacy of your account, we have placed a hold. And it says, talk to an Apple representative. Failing may lead to auto debit and charge will not be reversed. Call has number. Call this number immediately to cancel this charge. But this is a scam. This is all part of a scam where the idea is it's a fake order notification, right? You get this text message. It appears like you're being notified that an order was placed in your account. Oh no, someone has my account. They're placing an order. And it says to call this number to reverse the charge. Right? And the whole idea is to trick that victim into calling that phone number. Remember, there's scammers in call centers waiting for victims to call. And if you call that number, you'll be connected to one of these scammers. And they'll go into the narrative. They'll usually go into the narrative that your identity's been stolen, someone has access to your bank account, we need you to transfer your money out, which is a very common narrative that usually happens. But anyway, so this is the text message version of a fake order notification scam. We also have the phone calls to play for you. So the first phone call we're going to play is one that claims a MacBook Pro was purchased under a Walmart account. And this is a robocall that's going around, and then what it tries to, it's meant to play for someone who answers the phone, and then it says press 1 to dispute the charge. If I had answered the phone, pressed 1, I would have been connected to a scammer. So let me play you that recording now.
This call is to authorize the payment of $1,499 for the recent order of Apple MacBook Pro on your Amazon account. If you do not authorize this payment, please press 1 to speak to our customer support representative.
So that was a recording of that voicemail was actually left for me as an example of a fake order scam robocall. It said that a MacBook Pro was purchased under my Amazon account for $1,499. And then it says press 1 to dispute the charge. So it's trying to create fear. It's trying to scare people into thinking, oh no, someone's purchased a MacBook Pro under my account. I'm going to get charged $1,500. You know, I better press 1 to dispute this. They act quick. They don't think, and they're connected to a scammer not realizing it. And that's how a fake order scam works. The resulting scam will usually end up resulting in them trying to access your bank account and running, a various identity theft type scam on you to take clear out your bank accounts, clear out your credit cards, do whatever they can to you. But the way they hook you is the fake order scam. That's how they initiate contact, and they trick you into calling and talking to a scammer. So it's important to be able to recognize these fake order scams. Here's another recording of a robocall going out, and this one claims that a PlayStation was purchased under my Walmart account. And that's the interesting thing about these fake order scams is that they could claim it's for any vendor. They could claim it's from any device, right? And the idea is just for the potential victim to be like, wait a minute, I didn't place this order. I better dispute it. And that's when they got you. When you press 1 to dispute it, or when you call back the number to dispute it, that's how they got you, because now you're on the phone with a scammer. So let's take a listen to the second recording. And this is the one about a PlayStation purchased under your Walmart account. Again, it's an example of a fake order scam, and this is a phone call version of it.
We are trying to contact you concerning an unverified purchase of PlayStation 5 Special Edition bundled with Pulse 3D headset being ordered from your Walmart account for an amount of $859.50. If you did not authorize this transaction or wish to cancel, please press 1 or return our call on same number at your earliest convenience.
So there's another example of a fake order scam phone call. And that one, it was a robocall saying that a PlayStation was purchased under my Walmart account and to press 1 to dispute it. If I had pressed 1, I'd be connected to a scammer who would then start their narrative about my identity has been stolen, my bank account isn't safe, funds need to be transferred, yada, yada, yada. But it's important to recognize the hook of this all and how they get the initial conversation started. And that's with a fake order notification scam. All right, so far we saw the text message version of that scam where it says that a purchase was made with your Apple ID. Right, here's a text message version. They try to trick you into calling a number to dispute it. And we just listened to 2 recordings that claimed an order was placed, and they try to trick you into pressing 1 to dispute it. If you had pressed 1, you get connected to the scammer, and then they run their scam. It is known as a fake order notification. And now, as I mentioned earlier, this one's especially dangerous because we're being targeted by text message, we're being targeted by phone, but we're also being targeted by email. And here is a news article from August 2024, so not even 6 months old yet. And it's about a 23-year-old Lincoln woman reported losing $4,100 after falling victim to identity fraud scam in July. The scam began on July 17th with an email claiming she had purchased an iPhone. The woman called the number provided in the email to dispute the purchase and was told she had multiple open accounts in her name across various states. She was informed someone was using her identity. Right, so let's pause right here. The scam began when she received an email claiming she had purchased an iPhone. Right, so that's the fake order notification. That's the email with the fake order. Right, the email instructs her to call a phone number to dispute the purchase. She does. That's the fake order scam. Once she got on the phone with the scammer, thinking that she's actually on the phone with Apple or whoever, she's actually talking to a scammer who tells her her identity has been stolen and someone's in her accounts. Right, so that's how a fake order scam works. Let's continue reading because now it gives a little bit additional information, a little peek behind the scenes about how this scam progresses. Right, so she calls up this number. She's talking to a scammer. Doesn't realize she's talking to a scammer. The scammers connect the woman to a person posing as a CIA agent, who instruct her to withdraw $3,600 from her bank account. The next day, she was directed to use the money to purchase Walmart cash cards and send photos and receipts. Additionally, the woman sent another $500 cash card to the scammers. The Lincoln Police Department reminds the community that no government agency will demand money over the phone or via gift cards. Right, so you see what happened to this victim. She fell for a fake order notification, and they told her her identity has been stolen. They convinced her she's got to withdraw her money because it's not safe. She's got to withdraw her money, and then they tell her to purchase gift cards from Walmart. So lots of red flags there, right? If she was aware of the gift card, cash cards, prepaid debit cards, red flag. A little awareness of that red flag that we just talked about could have helped her. Might have been enough for her to identify, oh wait, this is a scam, right? Maybe if she had realized that whole fake narrative that's going around about hackers having access to your account and your identity's been stolen, it's not safe. Maybe if she had realized that was a common narrative, that would have been enough. If she had been aware of this type of scam, these fake order notifications. Oh, I remember hearing about these fake order notifications going around. The one that claims you purchased an iPhone or claims you purchased a MacBook, right? That could have been enough for her to realize that this was a scam. So this is why spreading awareness, scam awareness, is important. There's these little details, just little red flags where if it was just known, a lot of these victims could have been spared, right? So anyway, these are all examples of fake order scams. Fake order notification scams, fake purchase scams, sometimes they call it. And we need to be aware and alert for these, because again, we're being attacked through text message, we're being attacked through email, we're being attacked with robocalls, claiming that orders are being placed and to dispute them. So stay aware of these fake order scams. How are we all doing out there tonight? See some more people watching. Say hi in the chat. Click that thumbs up. Click the heart. Let us know you're watching. Say hello. All right. This next one's a good one. This next scam we're going to talk about is a grandparent scam. So these grandparent scams, they're especially heinous scams. They specifically target older folks and take advantage of the vulnerable. And they're especially ruthless. They try to really clear out everything the victim has. And again, a lot of times the victim's an older person, retired person. It's called a grandparent scam for a reason. And what these scammers do is they'll clear out the senior's retirement fund, their life savings, whatever they got left to live off of, that they worked all their life for. These scammers will just clear it out and take it. And a lot of times these victims have no recourse to get that money back. And it's a terrible crime, and it targets your parents. It targets your grandparents. It's something that people need to get fed up with and say enough. And this is one of the scams where that was actually motivating me a lot to start Scam Aware 101. Because this is one of those scams where it's like, people need to be aware of this and not fall for it. So anyway, grandparent scams. What is it? It's when a scammer impersonates a distressed relative or law enforcement, or both, and claims your relatives in jail. They request immediate financial help. Victims, usually seniors, act quickly to assist their loved ones. Right? So we have an example of this scam in progress. And what it is a scammer calls someone and they claim that your loved one is in jail. They've been in an accident, they're responsible, they're in jail. Right? Your daughter, your son, your granddaughter, your grandson. And you need to make a payment immediately to get them out. Again, this specifically targets seniors and older folks. Older folks with grown kids, that are old enough to be driving and things like that. We're going to play a video. And I love this video. It's so one of these scam baiters, they actually tricked a scammer that was from the Dominican Republic, and he was doing one of these grandparent scams. And the scam baiter actually hacked into the guy's webcam and turned it on. And we have a recording of this scammer actually trying to perform a grandparent scam. And you can actually hear and watch the scammer talking to a potential victim, an older woman on the phone, and go through the whole narrative about, your daughter, she's been in an accident, she's been in jail. So let's take a listen. Let's listen and watch this video. It's a great video. I love this video. And it's a great example of the opener, because what this is a video of the opener of a grandparent scam. That's the one that initially talks to the victim and feeds them the story. Then you have the closers, where they transfer the victim over to the closer, have the closers call the victim to get the money. But we're about ready to watch the opener who initiates this scam. So let's take a look at this video. And let me know what you think in the comments. Click the heart, click the like.
Oh, Mom, I had a car accident.
Huh?
I had a car accident, Mom.
Is this Linda?
It's me, Linda.
Where are you?
I got a car accident.
What happened?
I'm gonna put the officer on. I got arrested.
You got arrested?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi, are you Linda's mom?
Yes.
What I'm gonna need you to do is grab a pen and paper and write down Linda's case number, ma'am. I need you to hurry up, please, ma'am.
Case number?
It's the number 2.
2?
The letter B as in boy. Can you read that back to me?
2 V.
Now, I'm gonna read what's going on, ma'am, okay?
Okay.
Linda was involved in a car accident. It was stated in the police report. She admitted that was her fault. While she was driving, she was using her phone. That's what caused the accident, ma'am, okay?
Oh, man.
The woman that was driving the other vehicle was 7 months pregnant. We had to rush her into the nearby hospital. She might lose her baby.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, we actually confiscated her cell phone for legal evidence, so she cannot receive or cannot make calls. This is going to be her only last call. Are you with me, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Now, she actually wrote a note down here saying that she didn't want anyone to know about this. Let's honor her wish for right now because it's too much for her right now. That's what she's saying.
Okay.
What I'm going to need you to do, ma'am, is stay by the phone and wait for the lawyer to call, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye, ma'am.
All right, bye.
The next. So much to break down about that video, right? That's a great example about how these grandparent scams are performed. And again, that was the opener. This is the guy that reached out to the victim and initiated the conversation, and it's fascinating, right? So right off the bat, let's break a couple details of this video down, right? So right off the bat, he impersonates the daughter. Right, he's sitting there like, "Mom, I've been arrested. I've been in an accident." Right, he's impersonating the daughter, and he's like he's making his voice real high to kind of sound like the daughter, and he pulls it off. Right, he's talking to kind of an older person, maybe she's a little hard in hearing. Right, and he pulls it off. Right, he does that one sentence or two, and then he immediately switches over to impersonating a cop. So here he is impersonating. It gives you an idea how far these scammers are willing to go. They will impersonate your loved one. Like here's a dude with a beard impersonating your daughter. You know. So he impersonates the daughter, then he immediately starts impersonating the police officer. And when he starts impersonating a police officer, it's kind of funny because you hear the police scanner chatter start playing. Like he starts playing the police scanner noise to make it sound like you're actually at a police station. And there's some key things to recognize what he does too, right? He tells the victim, older woman, he tells her that her daughter's phone has been confiscated, right? And the idea is because he doesn't want her to try calling her daughter. Right, because she would reach her daughter, and daughter would say, "I haven't been in an accident. I don't know what you're talking about." Right, so he tells her, your daughter's phone has been confiscated. So that's to prevent the victim, or hopefully stop the victim in his case from calling the daughter. And then he also says, and here's where it goes back to that red flag we just talked to about confidentiality. Right, he then asks, he says, "Your daughter's embarrassed about this and asked you to keep it secret for now, not tell anybody for now." That's a red flag. He's asking for confidentiality, right, for secrecy. So that's how it was built into this grandparent scam. Notice how he told the victim to stand by, right? And that's when all these other scammers, the closers, will start reaching out to the victim. They'll impersonate court personnel and they'll demand court fees. They'll impersonate cops and they'll demand fees for release. They'll impersonate lawyers and demand legal fees. They'll impersonate everybody they can to extract as much different money and as much money as they can from the victim. So this guy was actually located in the Dominican Republic, and it's fascinating watching this video that was actually recorded by, someone that was able to get into his webcam. And just for your information, the guy who recorded this, he was able to reach the victim and stop her from sending money. The guy that was recording this got into the scammer's computer. He was able to reach the victim and warn her, like, "Hey, when they call you back, these are scammers. Don't give them money." So woman that we just listened to, who was falling for it, who was about to lose her money, it sounded like. Luckily she was warned, and she didn't lose anything, thanks to the scam baiter that was actually able to get into this guy's webcam and record this. So anyway, that's a fascinating video about a grandparent scam. This was by a scammer in the Dominican Republic. And what's interesting about that is we actually have a news article. Someone in the chat asked us, did they ever catch this guy? That's a great question. I don't know. But we do have an article that talks about this scam and a group in the Dominican Republic that was busted. This article also gives some more details about how the scam is performed. So I'm going to read this a little bit and share those details with you. But this article is from August 6th. Again, barely 6 months old. And this is about New Jersey federal court charges 3 additional Dominicans and grandparent scam. Right, so that's what we just watched. We watched a Dominican and a grandparent scam. They extradited 11 Dominican nationals, charged them with a 19-count indictment in New Jersey. And then the details that they provide, it says, according to the indictment, they're conspirators engaged in a long-running grandparent or family in need of bail scam against hundreds of seniors across the United States, including New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts. He has alleged to have led a network of call centers, right? So again, this is a call center that's actually in the Dominican Republic. There's call centers of scammers waiting for you to call them, or they're calling you. Like, this is what they do for a living. So as detailed in court filings, members of the conspiracy are referred to as openers, and that's what we just watched. We watched an opener, called elderly victims in the United States and impersonated the victim's children, grandchildren, or other close relatives. Typically, the victim was told that their grandchild had been in a car accident and was arrested in connection with an accident and needed help. Right? That's exactly what we just watched. Once the openers tricked victims into believing their loved ones were in dire trouble, others working at call centers known as closers allegedly impersonated defense attorneys, police officers, or court personnel and convinced victims to provide thousands of dollars in cash to help their loved ones. The cash was typically retrieved by couriers from the victims' homes or mailed by victims at the direction of the closers. So, was the guy we just watched, was this guy one of those scammers from the Dominican Republic that got indicted? I don't know. But a bunch were, and we just read a bunch of details about what goes on behind the scenes. We were able to watch exactly what was described in this indictment as far as these grandparent scams, how they're opened by these scammers. And what's interesting is, I think 2 weeks ago, a group of about 20 scammers in Canada were actually indicted for running a grandparent scam. So that was interesting. You usually don't hear about scammers in Canada, but apparently there was a grandparent scam being run out of Canada. About 20 people got arrested about 2 weeks ago or so. So it's interesting. Not just in countries like the Dominican Republic, right next door sometimes. So grandparent scams, right? It's important to be aware of those. Make sure your grandparents and parents are aware of that type of scam. Because simply being aware of the scam would be enough to wait. I'm not doing anything until I talk to my daughter. You know what I mean? Like, they need to know that if someone calls and makes a claim or they say, hey, no grandparent scam. I ain't giving you crap until I talk to my daughter. How we all doing? First time to Scam Aware 101 live stream. We do this every week, every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern. Goal is to spread awareness about these scams. Doing it out of the kindness of our heart. Just trying to put something good out there. So click that thumbs up, click that like button, click the heart here. And tell us about your experience with scams in the chat. How you found us. Have you ever run into any of these scams? You have to keep on protecting a loved one from one of these scams. We all know people are getting scammed these days by all of them, right? I know people where there hasn't been a scam they've never not fallen for. Did I say that right? Never not fallen for. Anyway, you get what I mean. But that's why they do this. Just because people fall for these scams easier, it doesn't make it right. It doesn't mean that the scammer deserves to rip people off and steal from your loved ones and friends and family members. They shouldn't be rewarded for scamming people. So spread awareness. Next scam we're going to talk about is undeliverable package scam. By the way, if you're just joining us, click that thumbs up, click the like, help us spread awareness. Join our free mailing list. You can visit scamaware101.com. Click join mailing list. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, X, all your favorite social media platforms. We need some more followers on Facebook before we could live stream on Facebook. We are streaming for the first time on Instagram today. I don't think we got a single viewer though, so I don't know. I have to research how your live streams are supposed to get found on Instagram, I guess. But anyway, the next scam example we're going to talk about is an undeliverable package scam. Don't be shy. Say hi in the chat. Anyway, all right, undeliverable package scams. So there's a couple different versions of this scam, it typically picks up during the holidays because everybody's sending and receiving packages. So the scammers know that they're more likely to get away with this type of scam. So some of you may recognize this scam from the holidays, but it still circulates throughout the year as well. But anyway, how an undeliverable package scam works is victims receive a fake notification about an undeliverable package, and they're asked to click on a link to resolve the issue. But the link's going to open a fake website that impersonates UPS, FedEx, or USPS, really any delivery service these scams can impersonate. Any personal or financial details provided by the victim into the fake website are stolen by scammers. There never was a package. So that's the scam. You receive more commonly this year, it was a text message. Victims received a text message. The text message said that a package can be delivered because of an address issue. Click on this link to confirm your address. Here's an example of this scam text message. From USPS. Due to an invalid address, you have a package that needs to be delivered, but it has been suspended due to incorrect delivery address. If you do not update your address before 24 hours, your package will be returned to sender. To deliver your package, it has a spelling error here. Red flag spelling errors, right? To deliver your package, please update your address by clicking the link below. And that's the example of the scam text message that's going out, or a version of a scam text message that's going out. But if you click that link, it's going to take you to a fake website that actually steals your personal financial information. Here's an example of what that fake website might look like. And you can see it. It's pretty legit looking, right? It's got the USPS logo, their colors, their theme. It's looking pretty legit, but it's going to steal your info. Anything you put for shipping info, any payment details, your card number. Here's another example of, they'll take a website that looks like this. It only asks for $3, right? So most people won't think twice. So, okay, no problem, I'll pay $3, fix it. But the scammer gets a credit card and they're taking more than $3. They're going to clear you out. So that's what example of what the websites might look like if you fall for this and click on the link. But don't click on a link. I'm going to show you some more examples of this scam too. So this one said 24 hours. Right, here's another example, very similar. A USPS package has arrived at the warehouse, cannot be delivered due to incomplete address information. Please confirm your address and a link within 12 hours. And it's got a link to fake website. Notice how towards the end of this text message, it has an instruction that says, please respond yes and exit the SMS, open the SMS activation again. That's a common instruction that gets included at the end of scam text messages. What it's trying to do is if you reply yes, or if you reply at all, it's going to enable this link. And it's also going to notify the scammer that you received and read his text messages, you know. So that's a big red flag when you get scam text messages. If it has this instruction at the end saying, please reply yes, then exit the SMS and reopen and yada, yada, yada. It's a indicator it's a scam. But anyway, so that's another example of a text message, you know, of an undeliverable package scam text message. Here's another one. This one was interesting. This one was actually sent to me, and it's interesting because someone started a group chat, and they named the group chat to USPS, I guess to make it appear more like it's from USPS. So that's kind of clever. Usually they don't do that, but they did it in this case. And it says, you know, since the package does not have a house number, the package transportation is interrupted, please update. And you know, they try to get me to go to a fake website. And there's other versions of this scam that have attachments, right? Here's one that has an HTML attachment. Your package has arrived at the distribution facility. We were unable to deliver it due to incomplete address information. Please click on an HTML file to update your address. And here's another similar one. It's got a PDF file. You know, this one had an HTML file. This one has a PDF file attached. You know, and you never want to open attachments, unsolicited attachments from that you weren't expecting. You never want to open attachments. It can infect your device with a virus or malware. So these are examples of various text messages, undeliverable package scam text messages. These become more common during the holidays. They're still circulating now, but they do become more common during the holidays. And the ones I'm sharing with the examples I just shared with you are text message versions of this scam, but there's also email versions of this scam. You know, pretty much every text message scam could be adapted to an email scam and vice versa. If there's a scam being sent out in emails, they could adapt it and send out a text message. All right, so if you get emails about undeliverable packages, text messages about undeliverable packages, it's a undeliverable package scam. FedEx, UPS, USPS, they don't send out text messages like these. So they don't send out text messages. You could request updates about a specific package, but they don't randomly just send out text messages about undeliverable packages. So if you get text messages like these, you know, it's a scam for sure. Fun story to share about this scam. In Wired magazine, August 8th, so again, less than 6 months old, there was an article about this scam. And it's a pretty awesome article. Basically what happened is this woman fell for this scam. And her husband did not like that. And her husband's name, Grant Smith, if that's his name, apparently he works in IT. And what he did was he infiltrated the scammer's system. You know, the scammers that, you know, sent these text messages, these undeliverable package text messages to his wife, you know, who tricked his wife. He went and infiltrated their systems. And he found out some fascinating information about the scam operation. So first of all, in the case of that undeliverable package scam, it traces back to a Chinese crime organization. Right, so that's just one group running this scam. You know, who knows how many others. But in his case, it was being run by a Chinese crime organization. Right, and the first thing that it says he discovered was they were sending up to 100,000 scam texts per day. That gives you an idea about how widespread this undeliverable package scam was. They were sending out 100,000 scam texts per day. It also gives you an idea of what they're capable of, what these scam networks and crime networks. They have the technology to send out these, you know, that many scam texts per day. 100,000. He also discovered that people entered 438,000 unique credit cards. So these scammers got almost 500,000 credit cards from victims. Many people entered multiple cards each, and more than 50,000 email addresses were logged. That's how many victims were falling for this undeliverable package scam. And again, this was just one organization. Who knows how many other were running running the scam as well. There were hundreds of university email addresses and 20 military or government email domains. Right, so that means that military and government officials even fell for this scam and entered their info, their credit card information and details. The victims were spread across the United States, and California had the most victims, 141,000 entries. So, yeah, it's a fun little story, though, about the husband getting revenge. You know, at least he gets into their systems, learns a whole bunch about what's going on behind the scenes with their scam. And it also gives us a lot more information about, you know, gives us a peek at what these scammers are capable of and how they're spreading these scams so efficiently and getting so many victims. How are we all doing out there? You guys remember getting those undeliverable package notifications? I got a ton of them during the holidays. I know a bunch of other people got them during the holidays. So we just showed you a text message version of this scam, but there was actually an email version of this scam, and it worked a little differently, which was kind of interesting. So of course, I'm sure there's email versions, which it's the same narrative: undeliverable package. Click here to confirm your details. But during the recent holidays, right around Black Friday, we spotted another version of this scam. It's the email version of undeliverable package scam, and we released a video about this scam. We were actually the first, and as far as I know, the only ones to report on this variation of the scam. And it's interesting. It popped during the holidays and disappeared. But I'm sure it's going to appear again next year. But we were the only ones to actually get examples, release examples, create a video, and start warning people about this version of the scam. So let's take a look. So an email comes in. It's impersonating FedEx. It claims your package is delayed. Right? So it's a fake undeliverable package scam. But what's unique about this one is, unlike the examples that I showed you, the text message examples that ask you to pay for redelivery, this one offers a compensation product of up to $100 in value as an apology for your package being delayed. Wouldn't that be awesome if FedEx offered us compensation products, especially worth $100? But you can see his email was received November 16th, around Black Friday. And then a week later, on the 22nd, here's one very similar, except it's got UPS's logo up top. We're sorry, your package appears to be missing. Get your compensation now, offering a compensation product of up to $100 of value. So what's unique about this undeliverable package scam is it morphs into a fake retail website scam. If you click get your compensation now, it takes you to a fake website with all these products, these supposed free products that you get, just pay for shipping. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But one of the points to remember is, again, if the scam can be sent through a text message, it could also be sent through an email or vice versa, right? We saw the version of this in text message, now we're seeing a version of this in email. And FedEx, UPS, USPS, which we just saw examples of all three being impersonated, they don't send notifications like these. So it's important to be aware of that, especially during the holidays, and to avoid becoming a victim of these undeliverable package scams. But what's interesting about this undeliverable package scam is that, like I said, this version evolves into a fake retail website scam. So let's take a look at these fake retail websites, a few pages. And these were ones that this scam actually led me to. So here's a product. It's offering wireless headphones. Just pay shipping. It says valued at $175. Just pay $8.95 shipping. And that asks for my shipping information and payment information. And this is a big indicator. And it shows, this is a good example about what a lot of these fake retail websites do. They'll offer you products that are usually pretty expensive products, a few $100, and they'll claim just for the cost of shipping. And it's one of these offers. It's a too good to be true offer, right? And in this case, that's what this fake retail website is doing. Here's another example of an item on this website. portable heater. Again, valued at $175, just pay for shipping. But it's going to steal any information you enter into this purchase page. And here's another example. Wireless earbuds. Save $175, just pay for shipping, $869, right? But it's going to steal any information entered. And the thing you have to watch out for is too good to be true deals. And this is an example of, too good to be true. $100 items for just pay for shipping, it's fishy. So you got to do your due diligence. Like if you're gonna trust this, at least research, see if there's any reviews about the website, what other people are saying. In the case of these websites, it used some shady tactics. Like it's probably too small to see on your screen, but each of these websites is located on a different domain name. So this one's located on luxuryproductportal.com. This one's located on technojoyhaven.com. And what these scammers do is they put up these fake retail pages. They have a whole bunch of domains purchased, lined up, website domains. One gets taken down, they just swap it out with another, and the scam goes on. So it's not just emails that might direct you to some of these fake retail websites. There's many different ways you get directed here. You get directed by, for example, the scam email we just showed, right? But you could also get an email about a special offer or valued customer offer. Click here. That takes you to these fake retail websites. They'll impersonate Home Depot, Target, and popular merchants and vendors. Ads on social media. The scammers, they can purchase ads just like anybody else. They'll purchase ads on social media that say, just pay for shipping, get this item, and it links to fake retail websites. Third-party ad providers, right? They'll get these ads injected and not realize it. So even if you're on a trusted website, the third-party ad provider you're using, they might insert an ad that takes you to one of these fake retail websites. So there's many ways you could end up on these fake retail websites and be guided. The sponsored listings on Google, right? A lot of times those will redirect to fake retail websites offering deals on products that are way too good to be true. And they're all part of a scam to steal your personal and financial info. So be on the lookout for fake retail websites. More popular during the holidays, but they do run all year round. And again, one of the big red flags is when they're offering your item, saying just pay for shipping. That's a big red flag, especially when items valued at hundreds of dollars. How we all doing tonight? Welcome to our live stream. If you're just joining us, click that thumbs up. Say hello in the chat. We do this live stream every week, just trying to spread awareness about these scams. Scamaware101.com. Click join mailing list. We send you some more scam awareness tips. Send you reminders when we're going live. Follow us on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, all your favorite social media platforms. And help us spread awareness. Click that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. These things all help our content get spread more and get recognized more by the algorithm and then fed to new potential viewers. So you can help spread awareness of these scams simply by clicking that thumbs up or that subscribe button. The next scam example we're going to go over is a fake gift card received. And this is the email version of a fake gift card. But keep in mind, it could be different versions of this. You might get an email version of a gift card. You might get a physical gift card that does the same thing. But in this example, we're going to use a digital gift card. And it's an example of an email you may receive from a scammer, right? But first, let's talk about these fake gift card scams. Victims receive a postcard or email notification that they received a gift card. When the victim attempts to activate the gift card by scanning a QR code or clicking a link, malware is installed on their device, or a fake website is opened to steal personal information. And in the example we have here of a digital gift card that you might receive by email is this Venmo email. It's a Venmo gift card. Your $50 gift card is here. It says your company has given you an employee rewards card. Activate your card today. But this is a scam. If you click that link to activate your card, it's going to steal your personal information or download malware on your device. So what do you do if you get an email notification about a gift card? Well, in this case, you would ask your employee, hey, did you get us a gift card? Or your employer, right? It says it's part of employee rewards. So you would ask your boss or employer, hey, did you send out a gift card? Is this real? If it says it came from a family member, reach out to the family member. Hey, you send me a gift card? Thank you so much. I didn't send anything. It's a scam. So you always want to verify whoever it claims sent you the gift card. You get an email saying it's from so-and-so. Confirm with them first before you go clicking on a link, activating it, or doing anything. So that's a gift card scam, a fake gift card scam received by email. And that wraps up our second batch of common scams. How are we all doing tonight? We still here? Say hello in the chat. If it's your first time watching our live stream, let us know. Tell us how you found us. Nick, help support our cause to spread awareness by clicking that thumbs up, clicking subscribe, joining our free mailing list. You go to scamaware101.com, click join mailing list. Still lots of good stuff coming up tonight. Going over the remainder of our agenda and schedule here. And we still got a lot of... we're going to go over breach tools next. We have another batch of common scams coming up after that. Social Security scams, IRS scams. I got a recording of a fake Comcast discount phone call we're going to play. Still have some snail mail scams coming up. Scammers are still using the postal service. So say hello in the chat. Let us know you're watching. Share your experience with us. If you had to deal with a scammer, what happened to you? And if anybody knows how to get people watching on Instagram when you live stream, let me know, because I don't think I got a single viewer on Instagram yet. So any tips you can give me are welcome. I think it's time to refill my coffee cup. Every hour and a half, we gotta take a quick coffee refill. So at 8:15, we're going to go over some data breach lookup tools, and that's some fun stuff. So stick around for a few minutes. If you ever wondered why how scammers have so much information about you, or aren't even aware of the information they have about you, I'm going to show you how to find out what they know about you, and it might be a little scary. You might not be able to handle it, but stick around and we'll find out. Thank you again to everybody joining for the first time. Say hi in the chat. Click a thumbs up if you haven't yet. Our goal is to spread awareness. And we do this live stream every Thursday. Every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. And we share examples of scams. Help make you aware of what to look out for. Red flags to the text scams. We already talked about those earlier.
All right, I'm going to go refill my coffee cup. In the meantime, everybody say what's up in the chat. Hit that thumbs up. Let us know how you found us. Stick around a couple more minutes. In 5 minutes, we're going to start going over the data breach lookup tools. Some good stuff to show you. So stick around. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. All right, cool. Who's still with us? Good to see you. Got some more viewers. Excellent. Very good, good. This might be the best part of our live stream that we do. We're going to go over some data breach tools in a moment. Get started in that in 1 minute. Just join in, hit that thumbs up, click the heart, say hi in the chat. You got here at the right time. All right. Welcome back. Thank you for joining our live stream again. If you're just joining, click that thumbs up, say hi in the chat. We do this every week. Our Scam Awareness live stream every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Goal is to spread awareness. We show you all sorts of examples of scams, let you know what scams to watch out for, which ones are starting to become more common, how to protect yourself and your loved ones from these scams by being a little bit more aware of red flags and how to identify these scams. But for this portion of the live stream, we're actually going to talk about some tools that are located on our website, all third-party tools, but these are links to some very useful resources, in this case, data breach tools. So if you go to scamaware101.com and click Tools and Software, you'll see a link of a bunch of useful links to third parties. And the first group of links is called Data Breach Lookup Tools. Now, what's important about these tools is scammers already know a lot of information about you. They know about you because of data breaches. All these third parties, they've been hacked, they've been breached. The information that you've provided to these third parties has been obtained, and that information is being used against you in the scams. Passwords that you've used may have been leaked in data breaches. Scammers may have access to your accounts already, and you don't even realize it. So what these data breach lookup tools do, all four of these are free. They're all from reliable sources, all legit. It's safe to enter your info. But these four different lookup tools, you can either enter your email address or you can enter your phone number in some of them. And what they do is they check and tell you if your information, anything attached to that email address or your phone number, has leaked in a data breach. Right? And some of the information that comes back with, it's a little scary. It's going to come back. It's going to display passwords that might have been leaked, that are yours. It's going to come back with a lot of information leaked, IP address information, and all sorts of stuff that you don't realize that is out there about you. So anyway, it's important to check your email address against these tools, check your phone number against these tools. It's free to run a check on all four of these services. Afterwards, a couple of them might try to get you to sign up for dark web monitoring or whatever, but you don't have to. But you can still run the scans for free and get an idea of what information is out there about you, because it's important to know. You might be surprised what information comes back. You might be surprised what passwords of yours are out there already and that scammers have about you, what information about you they have already. Just to give you an idea, they have serious information. Recently, last year, most of our medical information was breached. It was the biggest breach in healthcare history happened last year. I think it was like 2/3 of the country or more had all their health information exposed. So now these scammers, they have it. They have our information, they have your health information. So now they could tailor scams and target you with scams using all this information that they shouldn't know about you. They could call you and impersonate your doctor. They could call you and say they're calling in reference to a diagnosis that they should know nothing about. But because of these breaches, they have a shocking amount of information against consumers. And they use that information to scam us. But anyway, that's why you need to use these data breach lookup tools. Again, all four of these links, these first four links are all free. Pop in your email address, pop in your phone number, see what information of yours is floating around out there and exposed. Then you could address the situation. Or at least confirm that the passwords you're using are still floating around out there. Again, that's on scamaware101.com, and you can click on Tools and Software. In addition to those four data breach lookup tools, there's a lot of other useful links on the site. There's some deals here. We are an affiliate with NordPass, NordVPN, NordPass. Got a really good deal here. So if you're thinking about purchasing NordPass, NordVPN, might as well use my link right here and save a bunch of money.
You know, we got the deal on NordPass here, say 56%. I think it ends up being about $35 for 2 years, right? So can't beat that. So if you're looking for a password manager, here's a link to get you one for 2 years for $35. So then there are resources and tools, software page. Same for NordVPN. You can save 72%. We have a link to Delete Me. You know, if you want to delete some of your information that's out there. It's an interesting service. It doesn't help you with the dark web stuff, but it does send a request and remove information that's on the public internet. So use this link, save 20%. And then if you want to install Malwarebytes Premium on your computer, you need antivirus, you need a premium version. You want to use Malwarebytes, save 25%, use this link. So we get a small cut. We're affiliates with them, but I wouldn't promote it if I didn't believe in it, especially NordPass, and we all know those are reliable services. And there's some free links here too, though, right? So Malwarebytes Browser Guard. I started using this Malwarebytes Browser Guard a few weeks ago. It's a free browser extension that is from Malwarebytes. It helps filter out ads and scams. So this is pretty cool. I've been using it so far on Chrome. It's blocked so many ads, and it's free. So grab that link on my page here, online tools, scammer101.com. Got a link to free Malwarebytes. It's a good software. You can run a free scan on your computer. The premium version we link above runs real-time protection. The Malwarebytes free just runs on-demand scans, but it's still very useful if you want to check your PC for anything suspicious. I have a link to free antivirus, Bitdefender antivirus. Free, it's pretty good. Every now and then it tries to nag you to buy the premium version, but it's better than using the default antivirus. So if you need an antivirus, it has to be free. There's a link to Bitdefender for you. A couple other useful sections on our online tools page, scamaware101.com online tools. We have a few links to reverse image lookup tools. Those are useful a lot of times in romance scams. If you want to verify who you're talking to on the internet is real, you could do a reverse lookup on their picture, or the pictures that they send you, and these 3 searches will come back and let you know if they found any matches of those pictures anywhere else. Meaning that, so the person you're talking to might have stolen them. Or might be using somebody else's pictures. TinEye, reverse image search, Bing visual search, Google image search, all free. So links are right here to use them. Website safety lookup tools. A couple links to some tools to check the safety of a website. Norton Safe Web. It'll tell you if there's any ratings or reviews on a website. Google Safe Browsing. It'll check a website. It'll tell you if it was determined as unsafe or dangerous. Virus Total. It'll tell you if there's anything reported about that website as far as suspicious files or malware or breaches. So just useful research links if you're checking out a website and how trustworthy it is. And we have a couple more links here, and we'll spend some time more on these later because these are fun tools. They deserve their own dedicated portion of this live stream. But we have the Scam Report lookup tools, meaning there's a link to BBB Scam Tracker tool and the AARP Scam Tracking Map. And these are really cool because you can actually see in real time scam reports coming in throughout the country and who's reporting what scams from where. So we'll be using that tool in a little bit and seeing what's being reported. But anyway, all these links are on our website, scamaware101.com, under our online tools and software page. Lots of good stuff there and useful links. And some discounts. Don't forget about those discounts. We get a cut, so use our links. Save some money on the discount links. If you see a special offer, click that link. We need the money. And don't forget to use these data breach lookup tools. For real. If you do anything, go use these data breach lookup tools. Pop in your email. Pop in your phone number. Again, these are all reliable, trustworthy links. And but see what's out there about you. If anything, you take anything with the risk. Do that. I'll shout out these 4 links. All All right, cool. We're about ready to roll into some more common scams here. How's everybody doing tonight? Click that thumbs up, click the heart, say hello in the chat. Let me know you're watching. I'm just getting our next example ready here. We're going to look at some fake Social Security scam. Social Security impersonation scam. So this example was shared by a friend with me. And this example of a Social Security impersonation scam that came in by email. And it's important to be aware of these Social Security impersonation scams, whether they come in by email, a lot of times they'll come in by phone. The scammer will call over a phone and impersonate Social Security. So it's important to be aware of Social Security scams. And this example of an email, first is a screenshot of what looks like on our phone. And it's tricky to recognize on a phone, right? You can't see the from email address. You know, it says you have to click on it to actually view the from email address, which you should always do on your phone. You know, always verify who email is actually from. But you can't initially tell on this first screen. You actually got to click in to see the email address. And then the link looks like it points to ssa.gov, which is a legit website. But the link doesn't really point to that, and we'll get to that in a moment. But let me read to you what this fake email that's impersonating Social Security says. Get your new information now. To see your statement, please download the file from this link. And then it has a link that looks like it's ssa.gov. It says, we hope you find your new statement useful and informative. Thank you for using the Social Security Administration's services. Please do not reply to this email as we are unable to respond to messages sent to this address. And then there's a little note at the bottom that says, this file works on computers only. So that's kind of a little red flag right there. This file works on computers only. So that's interesting. But yeah, so this is the fake email and how it looks like on a phone. But if you investigate a little bit deeper on a PC, for example, so here you can actually see the email address is from. Right, it has like a safaricom.co.ke, which I think is a Kenya extension. So clearly this isn't really from the Social Security Administration. Right. And then if you hover the mouse over the link, you can see where it's pointing. And that's where you see that even though the text says ssa.gov, it's actually pointing to a website that's a random website with a .com with random number and letters. It's not actually pointing to ssa.gov. So this link's going to probably take you to a page that downloads malware. I think it's safe to make that assumption because a little note at the end does say this file works on computers only. So clearly they want you to click this link that takes you to the bogus website while using your computer. So this is an example of a Social Security impersonation scam. It came in by email. It came in February 6th. So it's less than 2 months old. So this scam is active and circulating right now. So be aware of these types of Social Security impersonation scams. Whether you receive it by email, by phone, by text message, scammers are known to do these types of impersonation scams through all those forms. So the next example of a scam that we're going to talk about, the next two examples are actually IRS and tax season related. Right? So it's tax season right now. It's good to be aware of these scams. Let me get those examples ready for you here. Hey, in the meantime, say what's up in the chat. Click the heart. Click the thumbs up. Say hi. If it's your first time here, let us know how you found us. Lots of good examples coming up. If your first time here, we do this live stream every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. The goal is to spread awareness. We're just trying to spread awareness of these scams, help people protect themselves and their loved ones by being able to identify these scams and recognizing what they are before they become a victim. All right, awareness is key when it comes to protecting your money. These scammers want to take everything. They want to take everything, and they will. if they're given an opportunity. So it's important to stop them and recognize these things before it's too late. So let's look at some more examples. And again, we're going to talk about some IRS and tax related scams since it is tax season. And the first one we're going to talk about is this fake text message that's impersonating the IRS. So we've been getting warned about this specific text message since January now. We've been warned by the IRS about this text message. It's been circulating. As soon as tax season started, it started circulating in January. And what this text message says, again, it's a fake text message. What it says is you are eligible to receive a $1,400 economic impact payment. Please provide your accurate personal information. We will deposit the amount into your bank account or mail a paper check within 1 to 2 business days. It then has a link to a fake website that it looks like it might be a government website, but it's actually not. It actually links to a shady.com website. And it's going to try to steal your personal information if you click that link, your personal and bank account information. But the IRS has warned us about this text message specifically, and it's been circulating since January, and it continues to circulate as tax season continues. I had other people provide examples of this to me as well. So people are actively receiving this text message. So be aware that this text message is circulating. It's 100% a scam. You wouldn't get a text message like this saying you're eligible for $1,400 economic impact payment. The IRS has already addressed this and made it known that this is a scam. Especially if it says $1,400 economic impact payment. Also, take note of that instruction at the bottom. Same instruction we showed on a different type of text message scam. It says, please reply with yes, then exit the text message and open it again. Very common that these scam text messages include that instruction at the end. If you reply yes, it's twofold. It's going to hurt you. One, any links that they send are going to be clickable. Suddenly, you're more susceptible to their links because you reply, and now the link becomes clickable. And also, you're letting the scammer know that you read and engaged with their message. They'll start targeting you with other text message scams from other phone numbers. So watch out for this text message scam impersonating the IRS. Definitely don't click the link. Don't reply. Report as junk and delete the message. And again, this example on the screen is we were warned specifically from the IRS about this one, and I've had people provide examples of them receiving it. This one. Also, something to note is it's interesting because this year we're being warned about the text message version of scam, but 2 years ago the IRS warned us about the same scam, but it was an email version. So also be aware of email scams that impersonate the IRS, and this is just another example of how any text message scam or any email scam can pretty much be adapted for the other. Emails can be adapted to work in a text message form. Text message scams can be adapted to work in an email form. All right, so anything we warned you about text message, always keep in mind for email as well, or vice versa, including impersonation, unsolicited, emails, text messages from the IRS, for sure. So that's a text message example of an IRS impersonation scam circulating to be aware of. But the next example, the other thing you need to be aware of, which we'll show you in this next example, are companies and scammers impersonating services related to tax season. For example, accounting services or debt forgiveness or tax forgiveness services, right? You need to watch out for these scams during tax season, and we have a recording of a voicemail, which is exactly that. So let's listen to a voicemail of an IRS tax forgiveness scam. And this is an example of the type of phone call you might receive for one of these scams.
Hi, this is Lindsay Carter from the Activation Department. Give me a call back at 833-850-2527. Our records indicate you have some back taxes owed. You're now eligible to apply for them to be forgiven with the Zero Tax Balance Program. Any back owed taxes can be enrolled to be forgiven through this program. But we do need to sign up this week. Just give me a call so we can start the process. It's really quick, and I'll keep your file open here. So my number is 833-850-2527. If you've already resolved this, call back and press 2 to be removed. Can't wait to speak with you.
So that was an example of an IRS tax forgiveness scam, and that was a recording of a phone call that was actually left for me. And what they're offering is first of all, this is a robocall. It sounds very realistic, right? The AI was very good. It sounded very convincing, almost as if it was an actual person. But it's a robocall. I had multiple people report the same exact voicemail to me, the same exact robocall. And what they're trying to do is it's a scam. You call back and they try to scam you. You know, they offer you a service that you could do yourself for free, and they don't really do the service. They steal your personal and financial information as far as your bank accounts go for receiving and paying taxes. You know, all sorts of scams they can use on you. And the point is that these pick up during tax season, and you have to watch out for emails, text messages that impersonate the IRS, but you also have to watch out for shady services and scams that involve tax services. And in this case, it was tax forgiveness. They're offering to a tax forgiveness service. They're saying on the call, you owe back taxes, but the robocall is saying that to everybody. You know, I don't owe back taxes. The people that reported this to me didn't owe back taxes. The robocall just says that to scare people. And in fact, I spoke with someone who received this call, and they said that they got scared because they had filed their taxes already. So the first thing that crossed their mind when they got this call was, oh, shoot, did I do something wrong? You know, that I fill out something wrong when I filed my tax. So this scam works in multiple different ways. So anyway, that's a recording of an IRS and tax-related scam that you should watch out for, you know, during tax season. And along with that IRS impersonation scam. Again, if you're just joining, there's a text message that shows what we're warned about and what's circulating. Take a look at another scam that's circulating right now. This one's a Comcast discount scam. It's actually a phone call recording. Now, I received this call. I don't have Comcast, so it's definitely a scam. But I'm going to play a recording of this, and the point of this recording is to get you to call back and talk to a scammer. And they'll steal your personal information, they'll steal your financial information. So let me play this recording for you, and this is good. This is an example of a discount scam. It's a fake discount scam. In this case, it's Comcast. You know, it's a fake discount for Comcast services. It's a phone call that's circulating, trying to get new victims. Let's take a listen.
Hello. This voicemail is from Comcast Xfinity. Your current 50% discount on your monthly bill will expire by the end of the day. To maintain your reduced rate, call the number on your caller ID immediately. This is your final reminder to act. Call back now. Thank you.
Right, so say my 50% discount, you know, my monthly Comcast bill is going to expire, and I got to call back. But I don't have Comcast, and it's a scam. So that's an example of various calls going around, scam phone calls to watch out for. These are all circulating. That call was received, you know, within the last couple months. So it's currently circulating. And that's it for our that batch of common scams that we were just talking about. How's it going out there? Say hello in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Click that thumbs up if you haven't clicked it yet. Click that heart. Help us spread awareness about these scams. We do this live stream every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern. Goal is to spread awareness so people can protect themselves, recognize scams, protect themselves, protect their loved ones from these scammers. They're thieves. They try to steal everything. So awareness is key. Our next batch of scams is snail mail scams. That's right, folks. Snail mail scams. So I think we're all used to digital scams and used to getting hit with email scams and text message scams. But we forget that scammers still use traditional methods like the good old U.S. Postal Service. And this next batch of scams that we're going to show is actual examples of recent scams that are circulating through the U.S. Postal Service. Because they're still targeting us there. They're targeting us everywhere. Nowhere safe from these scammers. Always got to keep that guard up and watch out. So if you encountered any scams, let us know in the chat. Click that thumbs up if you haven't yet. Click that heart. Subscribe. Do all that fun stuff. You follow us on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, X, all your favorite social media platforms. Definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And you can join our free mailing list, scamaware101.com, and click Join Mailing List. We won't abuse the privilege. We'll just send you reminders when we're going live and some useful scam awareness tips from time to time. You can always unsubscribe. So check it out, scamaware101.com, join mailing list. All right, I'm just getting the next batch of examples ready here. This is the snail mail examples. Bear with me, just trying to find the right example here. All right, cool. Our first example here of a snail mail scam is you can see an actual postcard, a physical postcard that was received in a mailbox, and it includes a QR code to scan. And what it is offering wireless Bluetooth earbuds. It's offering for free, just pay for shipping. Well, actually, in this case, it even says shipping and handling on us too. So, very shady. And there's two things to keep in mind here. One, they're still targeting, victims through U.S. postal mail. You can't just trust a random postcard that arrives offering you a free gift that's worth hundreds of dollars. But the second thing to notice is QR codes, which is a whole nother conversation. You can't scan QR codes. You need to be suspicious of QR codes. You definitely shouldn't scan random QR codes that arrive in your mailbox. Scamming, just like it's unsafe to click on links and the click any old link, same with QR codes. QR codes are the same thing as clicking a link. They just take you to a link. So you should be very suspicious of QR codes. Be careful not to scan them when it could be avoided. But again, in this example of a snail mail scam, you see a postcard, has a QR code to scan, and it takes you to a fake website, fake offer for free wireless Bluetooth earbuds. If you scan the code, it takes you to a phishing website that captures your personal information, such as your name, address, Amazon account info, and even your credit card number. So that's an example of a free gift scam, postcard / QR code scam version. Still out there. Let me know in the chat. You ever encountered any of those? If you received any snail mail scams, let me know in the chat too. I want to hear your experiences. Spread the word. Help spread awareness. And click that thumbs up if you haven't yet. The next scam we're going to show is an example of an inheritance scam letter. This letter, again, snail mail. This letter was received in the mailbox. This actually was received by a family member of mine and was provided so I could use it as an example. Let's bring it up to example here. First of all, what is an inheritance scam before I show the example? Victims are contacted with claims of a large inheritance from an unknown relative, but to claim it, they must pay fees or provide personal details. These scams exploit curiosity and greed to steal money and identity info. And an example of an inheritance scam, which you can receive these fake scams by email, theoretically by text too, but in this example, this is actually through the Postal Service and U.S. mail. Good old school snail mail version of a scam. So you can see a picture of the actual letter that was received. It has this fake but legit looking letterhead. It's got a little logo in the corner and some law office supposedly located in Canada. And it's impersonating a law office. It's claiming that they're a law firm in Canada. There's an unclaimed life insurance policy held by a deceased client worth $10 million. Their client shared the same last name with the victim. And they list the name here, the person they're addressing, dear whoever this was sent to, and then for the name of the supposed client, they have the last name listed here too. And the last names match. In the case of this letter, they matched the relative that this was sent to. So this version of a inheritance scam letter is being sent out to. It's an identical letter being sent out to people, except the names are being swapped out with whoever is receiving the letter. Which, by the way, we found many other examples of this also in Google when we search for it. But anyway, let me continue. So the narrative is, that the person shared the same last name. She died of COVID 4 years ago, $10 million. And this law firm's asking if we want to partner with them and let them process the claim for us. It's 100% risk-free. And one of the key points to mention is at the end here. It says, it's 100% risk-free. I do have all necessary documentation to expedite the process in a highly professional and confidential manner, right? Confidential, red flag. We mentioned when they mention confidentiality or secrecy, it's a red flag. And then it says, I will provide all the relevant documents to substantiate your claim as the beneficiary. This claim requires a high level of confidentiality, so they mention it twice, in their last paragraph. So those are red flags. But again, this is an actual example of a letter, inheritance scam letter. It's impersonating a law office, and it's claiming that you have an inheritance. Now, what would happen if you engaged this scammer and corresponded with them? Well, before you receive a penny, what they're going to do is one, at the very least, they're going to try to get your personal and financial information. And two, they're going to ask you to pay taxes and fees that are involved with this inheritance. That's going to be their claim, that you need to pay thousands of dollars of taxes and fees first, and then the inheritance can be processed. But once you do that, they're going to steal all that money, all that supposed tax and fees that you paid. The scammer steals that, and you never receive any of this $10 million inheritance. There is no $10 million inheritance. It's all a scam to get you to provide fees and supposed taxes to the scammer. And again, the example you see on the screen is an actual letter that was received through the U.S. Postal Service. Scammers are still using snail mail. So be on alert for these types of scams hitting your mailbox as well as your digital mailboxes. The next example of a snail mail scam, and the last one for now, I think, is going to be a fake renewal bill. Oh, by the way, before I take this letter off, this was received in November last year. So, what was that, 4 or 5 months ago? So, still pretty recent. I consider that pretty active and circulating if it's still within the year. Anyway, this next scam, this is a fake renewal bill. As another example of a snail mail scam that's still common these days. This one was received on June 11th, 2024, so middle of last year. Not that old. And I've actually seen versions of this scam circulating for years. So this picture of a letter was received by a family member, and they do have a website. This type of scam targets website owners, because usually whoever owns them, they could get that information. But this is made to look like there's a renewal bill due. And it even has a submit payment before July 26th, it mentions here. It says there's a 12-month term, listing maintenance. And it's just designed in a very scammy way that makes it look like it's a renewal bill, not like a bill for a new service. They have the detached portion here and says return by this date. They make it sound like something's going to happen if you don't pay by this date. So it's a very shady way to trick you into paying a bill that's not real. Because what this is actually supposedly this is a service that they're just tricking us into thinking it's a renewal bill. But who even knows if you're gonna get the service? It's a very shady looking invoice and bill that is received and sent out. So it's a good example of fake invoices, fake bills that are sent to people still using regular postal service mail. And it's old school. It's asking for detached here, include a check, or make checks payable to, or put your credit card details down. $289. To ensure listing by the 26th, please submit payment before July 26th. So anyway, watch out for fake invoices, fake billing. You get plenty of those in email as well, but this is an example of the snail mail version is still circulating because they're still out there, still active. That's it for the snail mail portion of this live stream. We've been going for about 3 hours now. I think I'm gonna wrap this up. But I'll keep going if people want to keep watching. We can break out the AARP scam tracker map. That's always fun. Maybe I'll do that anyway. It always wakes me up. That's a fun one. How you all doing out there? Click that thumbs up as first time watching our live stream. Say hello in the chat. Love to hear from you. Love to know who's watching. Help us spread awareness about these scams. Click that thumbs up. Click that subscribe button. And help us spread awareness about these scams. Because that's our goal here, spreading awareness. We do this live stream every week, every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. You join our free mailing list on our website, scamaware101.com, and click Join Mailing List. We'll send you reminders about when we're going live and send you other useful scam awareness tips. So join our mailing list, hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky X. You can find links on our website to all of our social media profiles right on the homepage here, scamaware101.com. And thanks for joining our live stream here. Say hello in the chat. Tell us your experience. What scams have you encountered? What red flags have you encountered? What's going on? What have you heard? What do you see happening in the scam world? And in fact, I'll tell you what's happening in the scam world. We're going to take a look right now at the AARP scam tracker map. And this is a fun tool. So in fact, this is that tool that's listed under our resources that we mentioned earlier, our tools and software page. If you come to scamaware101.com, you click tools and software. Here's all the links we mentioned earlier. And all the way at the bottom of the page, we have the links to the scam tracking maps. The one we'll use as an example today is the AARP scam tracking map. Right, so click that link. Boom, we got the AARP scam tracker map. And this is a fun tool because you could see all the scams that are being reported throughout the country. And it has various filters if you want to filter them. If you want to check your area specifically, you can put in your city, your state, your zip code. It'll tell you what scammers are being reported in your area. I like to leave it blank though and kind of see what's being reported throughout the nation. Looks like it's taking a second to load here. We'll see what happens. There we go. All right, so this is a scam tracker map. And right now we're viewing it all. We didn't use any filters or anything, so we're just viewing the latest reports. I guess the last 999 scams reported. You can see all the reports that are coming throughout the country here. All the red on the screen, right? It's wild. Click that heart if you're watching. Click that thumbs up. Let us know in the chat. You see all this? So we're going to take a look at some reports here and just kind of get a feeling for what kind of scams are being reported throughout the country. And I can tell you right off the bat, I bet you a lot are going to be the unpaid toll scam. That one's been getting a lot of reports. So let's see if my guess is right here. So the first report, I received an email titled "Last Warning Deadline." An invoice was attached from Geek Squad. All right, yeah. So we actually hear about this scam a lot. There's an email going around that impersonates Geek Squad as a fake invoice. So there's somebody that reported that fake email. It's a very common one. So be aware of it. There's fake Geek Squad invoices going around. And what happens is if you call the invoice to dispute it, they hit you with the the fake order notification. Yep, and here we are around the first page. Repeated text to pay toll fines. The text includes a link to pay online. Yeah, so right off the bat, you see here's the first report of a unpaid toll scam. That was actually the first scam we talked about on this live stream when we kicked it off too. Elder scams and fraud. Live call from James from United Medical regarding paid by Medicare. Yeah, so there's a lot of Medicare and medical scams around, especially now that the United Healthcare breach happened last year. You know, so much data of ours is out there about medical that we're going to see a lot more scams that use our medical information against us. You know, stuff that we wouldn't expect scammers to have. An example is these Medicare scams. So scammers call up and they're going to try to get your Medicard ID and information from you. And they can do all sorts of fraud with it. So never give your Medicare or Medicaid, any of your details like that to unsolicited phone calls, you know, from people. This is common. We're seeing more of this pop up. And we're going to see more of this pop up because of those healthcare breaches last year. But anyway, we see somebody reporting that here, you know, along with the unpaid toll scam. Let's take a look at the next page. Toll roads. Yep, so next page, first one, toll road. Said go to the site. Yeah, so there we go. And it came from a number in the Philippines, which is common on these unpaid toll text messages. A lot of them seem to come from numbers outside a country and from Asian countries like the Philippines. Business imposter scam. I was recruited to start a TikTok shop and had to fund my store, which was non-existent. Okay, so that's kind of a job scam. Interesting. Yeah, we see a lot of different job scams, and one of the red flags is when they ask you to actually deposit money, or if they ask you to purchase equipment and then send it to them. That's a red flag that you're being scammed. Lots of interesting reports on this. Amazon call and Bank of America started saying they're trying to prevent a fraudulent transaction. Okay, so that's when we discussed a lot about that the scammer calls and they impersonate Bank of America. They'll impersonate a bank or a vendor, and they'll say someone's using your account, someone's stolen your identity, someone's making purchases, and they'll use it as an excuse to get onto your PC and get your banking information, and they'll have the victim withdraw money and transfer it. They'll tell them they need to protect their money by transferring it. And it's this very common narrative. Be suspicious. And we talked about these bank impersonation calls earlier in the live stream. We showed some examples. These bank impersonation calls circulating a lot. They're all scams. They're calling you up. They're claiming that someone's got into your account. And what they do is they tell you need to withdraw the money to keep it safe because someone got into your account. A bank will never ask you that. If you get some kind of call from a bank claiming that someone's got access to your account, you go withdraw the money, it's a scam. Go to your bank and talk to your bank. And that's what this person is reporting here, because that is a common scam, and that's why we showed some examples of it earlier. Text messages are impersonating bank, calls are impersonating the bank. Again, you can't trust caller ID, even if it shows the bank's phone number. Scammers know how to modify that. The next page being reported on the scam map. Again, we'll look at a couple more pages and then we'll wrap it up. But the scam map's cool though, right? You can even type in your area and see what's going on locally. You know, not that usually matters. If it's scams happening in one area of the country, it's happening in most areas. But anyway, on the next page here, tech support scams and fraud. Yeah, so your Apple ID was used at App Store for... so there's an example. We showed this one earlier. This is that fake order notification. Your Apple ID was used to place an order. So here's somebody reporting that one, and we showed an example of that one earlier. Debt-related scam. Easy Pass keeps harassing me, saying I have a debt. So it's an unpaid toll scam. This person's reporting when it impersonates Easy Pass. Saying another reporting the same thing. I got a text, my Apple ID was used. So that fake order notification, especially that Apple ID one, we're seeing a lot of those going around. So be aware of that one. Watch out for that text message. And you know, like earlier in the live stream, they're targeting people by email, text message, and phone call too. So be aware of that scam. And you see people reporting them here. So they're active. These reports are all from what, the 24th, it says. So a couple days ago. gift card scams and fraud. Email posing as pastor of my church, ask for help getting a gift card. Visa. Yeah, so watch out for the fake gift cards. Email ones we're talking about. Look at one more page. Debt-related scam. Investment Corp operate a loan scam. They promise to provide consumer business loans. I don't know anything about that specific company, so I'm going to skip that one here. Yeah, a lot of interesting different ones being mentioned here. Safety inspections, anything else? Anyway, you guys get the idea. This one warns us about a Netflix email scam. This one's common. It claims that your account's being put on hold and you need to verify billing information. That's a fake email that's circulating right now to be aware of. So if you have Netflix, don't be fooled by the fake one, the fake email circulating that asks you to confirm billing details. Anyway, you guys get the point. So it's a pretty cool tool. It's the AARP Fraud Watch Network Scam Tracking Map, or Scam Tracking Map for short. It just gives you an idea which scams are being reported a lot, where they're being reported throughout the country, and what to watch out for. So it's pretty cool. Comes in handy. And we have the link right there on scamaware101.com, and it's on our online tools and software page. We have the link all the way at the bottom there. I think wrap up this live stream now. Covered all the topics we wanted to. We're going for about 3.5 hours. Not bad. Not too bad. How's everybody doing out there? Thank you to everybody that attended the live stream. If you haven't yet, please take a moment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click that like button one last time. Last chance to click that like button. You can visit scamaware101.com. Join our free mailing list. We won't abuse the privilege, I promise. We'll just send you a reminder when we're going live and scam awareness tips. We won't abuse the privilege, and you could always unsubscribe if you like. So anyway, scamaware101.com. Click join mailing list. And while you're there, you could see all the resources and tools and software that we referenced in this live stream. And you can follow us on our social media profiles. We have links on our website. Username is scamaware101 across all your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. We need some more followers on Facebook. We got to hit 100 followers on Facebook to live stream over there. So if you haven't followed Scamaware101 on Facebook, we could use your follows. We need 29 more to hit 100, I think, and then we could copy this live stream on there as well. So I think that's about it. So again, thank you everybody for attending. Appreciate all the support. Everybody have a great evening. And as always, stay safe.